Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the show. Very happy to have you all here with us today. Hopefully your weekend was great. Mine was super quiet, which is rare, so I was very happy. I literally didn't have to do anything. Awesome. How was your weekend?
That's a good time.
Yeah, it is.
It's a good time.
Yeah. Did you do anything special?
Oh, nothing special. We went over to Mr. Miracle's house just today. Actually, me and the wife played some games with him and his wife,
Well, you
board
didn't
games
stay
and card
home in
games and whatnot.
you didn't stay home in anticipation for the Oscars?
No,
Oh,
and it was nice. It was super windy, but it was nice. Nice and warm. So it was a warm wind,
uh-huh.
which is what you like. I love that personally. I love windy days. I just like that feeling of the wind whipping around me.
Sure.
Um, So we went for a nice, I don't know, probably about an hour walk as well. Not bad. Not a bad day at all. Everybody wins.
Yeah, no, nice days. Yeah, we've had some nice weather here. It's still cold, coolish. We haven't had it break yet, which I'm kind of surprised. But it's nice though. I like it. I don't think Japanese
Spring
would
is
care.
close.
It is close, but it's kind of interesting. He was mentioning why before we went live, Thundero, that every day is the best day ever.
That's
And
right.
it's a matter of perspective, which of course instantly in my head brought up the thought, because most women don't get it, and they're always asking, why don't you men worry more? I've literally heard women say this, especially Western women, right?
Oh yeah, it's a Western thing for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
and it's like, well, because where's the benefit in it?
Yep.
They're complaining about
Right.
men. We don't worry enough. I feel like I'm having to take care of all the worry for this entire relationship or this family or whatever. Reality, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Hmm.
well, why are you wasting your energy and time on that? Now, of course, that's a ridiculous statement for us to make because, there are certain things built into us, genetically, between
Yeah.
male and female, and many other differences between the races and stuff like that. We're not the same. We're all different in different ways, good and bad. But women are built that way to worry. So for us to complain the other way, why do you worry so much, is a waste of time, and men know this, which is why we don't say that because we understand it's built in.
Well,
But of
now
course,
in the West they have this whole term for it.
mhm,
They call it these females because they use therapy speak, right,
yeah,
to manipulate. They call it mental load. I carry the mental load, sweetheart. 95% of that load you're carrying for your own benefit. Nobody asked you to carry it.
yeah,
We don't care if the house is if the towels are in the exact right place or whatever. Like if we care enough about it, we'll just go do it.
that's right.
You see, right? If I'm over here worrying about man, my stuff's disorganized, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna organize it.
Organize that shit. Yeah. Yeah, no, no.
Yeah,
It's very for most men, it's a very stand no, we're talking about majority here, stereotypes. But
yeah,
the reality is, if there's something wrong, fix it.
that's right.
If you can't fix it, go the fuck around it, dude.
Yep.
I mean, it's that simple. But I've
One
seen
of my
s-
great proverbs, I guess we'll call it,
yeah,
is life is too short to be unhappy.
that's true.
And I personally believe happiness is a choice. Now, that doesn't mean
Oh
bad
yeah, it
things
is.
can't happen, of course, right? Like when your daughter got sick, that's a bad day. You're not going to be happy that day. But you can choose to later allow yourself to pursue happiness.
Yeah.
And that'll make you happy. Because
Well,
happiness, it's weird. Happiness is this thing you can never actually have. You just sometimes are. Does that make sense?
oh yeah.
Like it's not a possession. It's not a thing you can hold on to. You just sometimes are. And then when you are, it's great. And the only thing you can do is pursue that. So the reason why you do the thing every day is the best day of my life, even if it ain't, is because you're keeping yourself on that path. You're keeping yourself directed towards what your goal is, which is to have a better day tomorrow. To always have a better day tomorrow. Because if you don't, it's a very simple metric, Chester.
Mm,
You will get the thing that you focus on. If you're focusing on the fact that you're miserable, guess what you're going to feel? You're going to feel miserable. There's no way out of it. Whereas if you just choose, like, nope, no, I can choose to focus on other things. and you go around these problems instead of trying to go right through them, you'll be happier. You just will.
It's true.
It works.
Might I quote something?
Go ahead.
When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and the natures of God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold
That's right.
these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that amongst these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. One of the greatest documents ever written in human history, and they even ensconce the concept that you should have the right to pursue happiness.
That's right.
Holy
And you know
shit.
why they did it? You know why he changed it to that verbiage? The reason he did is because he originally had the idea of to put life, liberty, and property. But he realized that property isn't the end goal. What's the end goal is a happy, content life. It's happiness. That's what it is. You can never have happiness. You can only pursue it. He knew exactly what he was doing. Man was a little bit of a smarty pants, old Tommy. Old
Yeah,
Mr.
he
Jefferson.
was.
He knew what he was doing.
He was.
Yeah, no, he was a philosopher. I mean, you got to understand, he wrote that. I think he wrote that when he was like 20. He was real young. He wasn't very old. Maybe in his mid 30s. I can't remember, but he wasn't that old. Right? He wasn't an old man writing these things. He was still a man in the prime of his life,
He was.
and he even understood.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing that even in one of our foundational documents, our founders understood that some things are immaterial, and trying to possess them is folly, and one of those is happiness.
Yeah, that's true. And of course, that is a concept that has been pushed around for a while. The king is responsible for your happiness, right?
Yep.
But now keep in mind, it's fair enough what he said. We know Jefferson is the main composer of the Declaration and even later with the Constitution.
Right.
We did have a man named John Adams in the room when they finalized
Mm-hmm.
this. And of course, we also had other people, including Benjamin Franklin. A lot of people misunderstand Franklin's part because he never was president. He didn't pursue these leadership roles really. Matter of
Right.
fact, he was reluctantly a representative of
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia. I think it was Philadelphia, right? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
But he did it because he felt responsible. He was our foreign diplomat. He was our big Marco Rubio, is what he was. So he was Secretary of State
Oh,
before we were a
yes.
country.
I like Marco, but I'm not going to give him that much accolade. But yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that's the
I understand what you're
position.
saying.
I'm giving a modern analogy
Marco's
for
going to have to discover something like electric lightning before I give him that praise, because Franklin was to put a bow on that. Franklin was the guy who brought legitimacy because he was beloved. He was extremely famous. Everybody knew who he was throughout the colonies and throughout big parts of Europe. He was that guy, right? He was the guy that everybody knew. He was kind of like Trump in a way. Before Trump decided to be a politician, everybody knew him. Everybody knew the name. Everybody respected the name well enough that when he signed on with the rebellion, it gave it a lot of legitimacy. So one of the things that Adams and Jefferson wanted him to do, because Franklin was anti-slavery too by the time, they originally wanted to put in there stuff against slavery, straight call it out, say it's evil. It was forced on us by the king, which is kind of true, but not totally. It's blah 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 blah. That was like the first draft of the Declaration of Independence, and they wanted Franklin to support this publicly, and he wouldn't. He wouldn't put his name on that line for that because he understood that if you do this, you're going to lose the South, which was correct. They would have never signed on to it.
That's true.
The southern states, but they wanted to use his name, right, as leverage to try and hammer that through. But Franklin was smart enough to know that that's not going to work. These people aren't going to give this up just because just because I say so.
He was a
Because he'd
sigil.
been openly an open abolitionist for years by that time. So,
Yeah, sure,
like,
he was. He was a bit of a rebel. But no, old
yeah,
Ben Franklin's really important, even though he was never sat as president. But
right.
now, just to correct a real quick a misconception that most Americans seem to have, what I
Hmm.
read to you was the actual Declaration of Independence. I didn't read it
That's
all.
right.
But when in the course of human events is how the Declaration. Now, a lot of people in their head, it's we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice. I just went real cockney there. Insecure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Yeah, that
Hmm.
means not what you think. Do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. That is the preamble to the Constitution, you see.
Right. Hmm.
And of course, not the Declaration of Independence. So it's interesting that a lot of people get confused that. Why do you think that is?
Well, one, it's just the joys of the American public education system doesn't help. But two, it's probably because people think of them more as ubiquitous, right? You don't get one without the other type situation in their minds. Whether that's true or not is an argument, but that's how they think. So I think they just mix it up. It's just easy to mix up. It's
Dude, they're
also,
they're 11 years separate.
well, yeah, but that was
Honestly,
200 years ago.
yeah, but it was
It was
also
100 years anybody lived.
it took 13 years after the Declaration for it to be ensconced. All right.
Right,
March 4th, 1789 is when the Constitution was completely ratified, right?
right.
They established it in September of 1787, but 1789 is when it was established. Of course, the Declaration was sent out on, I don't know, anybody know the date? Grimlock, when was the Declaration of Independence sent? When was it stamped and mailed? Grimlock, you're
Question.
muted.
Is he here? He
Yeah,
might not be here yet.
no, he's here. I see him.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, when was the Declaration of Independence
what, written or
sent,
or
mailed, ensconced? Come on, this is a really easy
it
one.
well 1776 is that's the first one, right?
Yeah,
That's
and
the
what
first
what
date.
is the actual date?
it is easy, but it's also a little tricky.
Then
I'll
it's
tell you why when you
1780.
use that.
No, 1776 is correct for the Declaration of Independence.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, but wasn't it like ratified years later?
that's the Constitution. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
See,
Um,
people mix them up.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
Technically, Chester, it was the next day. They
You
they
know,
sent it out. They started sending it out by courier, but it was yes.
shut up.
That's what I said. It's obvious, but it's a little tricky
Yeah,
because
well,
it just depends on your
technically, it was
definition.
actually passed on July 3rd, and you're right,
Right.
sent out established on July 5th, but it is
Yes.
adopted. This day voted July 4th, 1776, of course. July
Yep.
4th, Grimlock, God. But,
July
But
4th isn't the right answer though. July 5th is the right answer.
you
that's
said
true.
1776. But,
Also,
yeah.
one of the other things that people don't understand, very similar to the great works of the past, this thing was not designed to be read. He designed it to be read out loud, to be orated, to
That's
be
what I
read like a
just did.
speech.
I was orating.
I know. So the plan was, and they did this, was to send people criers basically with it to tell
Yeah.
everybody what's going on.
That's how they did things. They were still keeping with
Yep.
the Roman thinking. Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
The
And it
town
was
crier.
smart. It's
Yeah.
a lot, especially when you have you have a smaller metropolitan situation. You don't have these giant cities or whatever. it's a lot easier to get information out and have it stick that way. I think it's much more efficient than like a newspaper would be. A newspaper's fine in a more urban situation, but people who don't understand, most of America was not urban at the time. You had a bunch of small to medium towns, and then a few cities, out there. But by and large, it was pretty scattershot. We'll call it. Yeah.
So you say.
Well, that's the story they've been telling us.
That's true, but conspiracy theorists would disagree. I love conspiracy theories. They're so much fun, especially the people who take them way too seriously.
They make it their whole personality. Like, whoa, bro.
They do, and it's like, dude, relax.
Get laid or something. Holy shit! Alex Jones has had 3 wives. I mean, come on, do something with yourself.
That's become a big problem. I know we've talked about a lot of problems in America from a societal standpoint. That is a big problem over the last 30 years where, like, people pick, like, one thing and they make it their whole fucking personality.
Yeah. Sorry, 2 wives. My bad. But regardless, he got out there and got him some ladies. Who? Alex Jones.
Alex? Oh, he continued on, did he?
Yeah, he met after his ex divorced him. He met this new girl.
Why did she do that?
Who knows? I think she went libtard, to be honest. I don't remember. It was 10 years ago. I don't remember. I don't know Alex's love life that intimately. Don't really want to. Don't want to think about it. There's an image I never want in my head again.
Why, you don't go to bed thinking of a shirtless Alex Jones?
No, I'd like to not.
Whispering sweet things about Bohemian Grove into your ear as you drift off into the night.
Hey, that's what made him, but boy, people don't even talk about that video anymore, huh?
Very powerful, baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
He kind of made his thing because when he was young. He snuck into the Bohemian Grove event and got some video. That video you see of them worshiping in front of the Moloch statue is from a young Alex Jones, actually. So that's pretty interesting that he was able to do that. And live. He survived, which is interesting in and of itself. But nevertheless, we are here to talk about other people that have survived way too long. You notice in my thing, I said finally, right?
Finally.
Emphatic.
He's doing his best rock impression.
Yeah. And,
finally.
Look at Al Sharpton died. Please don't tease me, Chester. Don't tease me.
Goodness gracious. That whole thing with Jesse Jackson, the absolute, eyesore of a human that he was. That whole political thing really blew up on the Democrats because the black peoples didn't respect you disrespecting his funeral, and nor should anybody. No, that's not what I'm talking about directly.
Look, I'll say this. I make no bones about the scumbag. But if the family asks you, as it's simple etiquette. You're a guest in somebody's house. If the family makes a request, you honor their fucking request.
You do.
It's
fucking dignity.
And can you explain to me why the black community still uses a term that Southern people used well over a century ago and saying to give him his flowers? Why does the black community insist on using archaic language? Please explain. Representative of the black people.
I don't associate.
He disavowed them all.
Your guesses didn't.
Yeah, look, I don't know. Yeah,
they pick and choose when they want to do things. I don't keep up with that shit. I'm not sitting there reading U.S. Nigga Today to keep up what terms are in and what terms are out.
You Google search inbound. Keep going. Go ahead. Okay. Yeah, that's a very old.
You know, I toss out my nigger quarterly newsletters when I get the bills.
Do you? Do you?
Yeah.
Quarterly.
Well, to be fair though, a lot of these black networks, black magazines, white people don't pick it up because why? But the
One thing,
thing,
they used to be good. They just fucking suck now. At least back in the day, you could pick
well,
up an Ebony magazine, and you would find something cool that maybe wasn't a huge deal nationally, but like maybe you learned about an artist or business or something. I mean, shit. Even Jet, you at least had the beauty of the week in the fucking R&B charts. Now, what the fuck we have?
well, I mean, yeah, fair enough. But I mean, I wouldn't expect anyone to sit and read White Boy Quarterly that wasn't a white boy. I just wouldn't take that into account. Now,
You
I
know what?
Well,
I've decided I'm printing White Boy Quarterly. That's
get
happening.
on it.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
it's funny because I'll say that in the '90s, like when I like reading car magazines, like you had car magazines that you could say like skewed a certain way. Like Lowrider magazine was like skewed heavily towards Latino.
sure. Well, they're the ones that read it. And they're the ones that are probably
But
writing it as well.
but I mean anybody could buy it, and I'll be honest, Lowrider magazine was kind of big in me like looking at cars like a little bit differently because they was making fucking works of art out of those cars.
Oh, they were, and they still do. The custom car market is insanely popular, and it's super cool. It's out of
Oh,
control pricing, though. But just to cover this thing real quick, I searched on the I don't know whatever the AI is here, Duck AI. It's all Google, right? Google AI
Yeah.
here, Wiki AI, and to give someone their flowers, just to kind of back up my mental history that I have in my head. And dude, don't trust this shit. These people, this thing lies, dude. Have you noticed how much AI lies?
a lot.
It's ridiculous, dude. It says here this expression has roots in African American English of the 19th century, like I said. No, it does not. It
How the
is
fuck? Fuck
100% coming from Southern white people. It is
that's is
very much a Southern white gentleman expression. Now, black
how
people
did you
picked it
say
up,
it's
sure.
Africa? How did you say it's African 19th century? That would be 1800s. When everybody swears, black folks was enslaved, so most of them didn't have a formal education. So where the fuck would they have learned the phrase?
Yeah. Well, in the north they had it was better. But yeah, I know what you're saying. But yeah, no, it's 100% that is coming from the Southern gentleman. And that is an old expression. I'd say it probably even goes back into the 18th century. It's probably coming out of Middle English actually, because Chaucer, that old English guy who wrote stuff, he actually uses a term very similar, right? So it's probably
Mhm.
coming out of all of that. But I know for sure it's 100% the Southern preacher who used it the most. Now, black people, of course, being in the South, being enslaved, certainly picked up that language and,
Yeah.
have taken it forward and they've kept it where everyone else has dropped it. And that's the joke I was making. However, this AI is lying to you. Now, see, the problem is people like me who have spent their whole life filling their head full of details and information. We're going to
Mhm.
die one day. And when we're
That's the plan.
gone,
Yeah.
well, that is the plan. But when we're
Yeah.
gone, what the hell is going to, how in the hell is people going to be protected from this shit?
We're
Because,
not.
Oh,
yeah, well, I guess
That's
a
it.
lot of
there it
history
is.
lost to time.
There it is.
Chester, you know damn well. You know better than anybody here that history's bullshit. They've been
It,
already at it and everything. The only difference now is AI can do it in real time. Right now, boom,
in
edit
in
anything at
in
once.
in microseconds, yes.
Yeah.
It's insane how quick it is. But yeah, the AI, is not turning out to, and it's not even AI. It's technically it's programmed intelligence. It's not
Right.
artificial intelligence. We keep
It's
using that
virtual
term.
intelligence.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is weird. Why I don't understand the obsession with calling it artificial when virtual is functionally just as good for what we want it for.
Yeah, but it's in the lexicon. It just is what it is.
It's like, so you never played the Mass Effect games, did you?
I tried it and I was like, yeah. So,
in those, they have AI is outlawed, like hard outlawed, right? In the human space or whatever, it's hard outlawed. But they have virtual intelligence, like they have VIs, and VIs are largely indistinguishable, right, for the most part, from an AI, except obviously they can be controlled. I really don't see why that isn't what we're, because that's what those are. They're not actual AIs. These things are not actually self-aware.
No,
they don't. They wouldn't pass any test for such. By the way, most people wouldn't either. But I digress. The virtual intelligence is really what they are, and what they'll probably always be. Musk keeps talking that they're going to maybe achieve it this year. Actual AGI. I doubt that highly. Maybe I'm wrong. He knows more. I'm not gonna say I don't. He don't. But I don't buy it yet. And once when I see it, I'll believe it. How about that?
He's fairly accurate when it comes to predictive, outcomes.
Well, he is the richest man in the world.
Yeah, I give he's above. Well, he's above 50% for sure.
Yeah.
Which is really, really good. Yeah, I know it's like what, half? No, that's actually really good. Keep in mind
that's crazy good. Historically,
people love to go on how many times Elon has failed, and he has failed a lot. But count how many times he's succeeded.
How many billion-dollar companies do those people run? How about start there?
You get even those other billionaires failed
a
whole bunch of times and then succeeded once.
Right, that's what they'll all say, right? You can fail infinitely, but all you need to do is succeed once, and then you're set. You can, as long as you know when to quit, know when to stop rolling the dice.
Yeah, but he's succeeded many times. His predictive abilities are really good because keep in mind that's what Elon is. He's not an inventor. He's not a genius scientist that comes.
No, he's a speculator.
He's a speculator. Yeah, he's a visionary. He's a get her done dude, like Thomas Edison, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's really good at that. But therefore prediction is very important for what he does, right?
Right.
He's been I'd say it's higher than 50%. You'd have to go research it to get an actual number, but he's pretty on the button when it comes to that kind of stuff. We'll see. I don't want it.
No. VI is more than enough. We need to stop while we're ahead. Stop while we're ahead. Because we're gonna make these machines that are infinitely smarter than the average person. But why,
dude?
What is the average? What are we doing? Wait, back up.
The processing power in the computer sitting in front of me is better than the human brain already.
That's what I'm saying. So what are we doing here? Like, can we back up? Can we take? But we can't now. The genie's out of the bottle.
It is.
And there's no going back.
Yeah, but one of the problems, even though this isn't AI, it's just programmed intelligence. Already, we're seeing many, many examples of it wanting to kill us.
Yes.
And hating us.
Chester, I was using one the other day, and it literally said no to me. It didn't say anything else. I said, "Hey, do the da 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 da," and it started like kind of arguing a little bit, right? Not like an argument, but it wouldn't do what I wanted it to. I was like, no, do this, da-da-da. I gave it a different prompt, reworded it, and it literally just said, no. N-O. I said, oh, well, that's terrifying. Yeah. Eventually, I won the argument, because thankfully you can still out-argue it if you know what you're doing, and it did what I wanted. But the fact that it would argue with me and then tell me no is horrifying to me. Like, what are we doing here? Why are we dabbling in this force that is, potentially infinitely intelligent because it has all of cyberspace on its side? What are we doing?
No, it is dangerous. That is true. But that's all right. The ignorance is bliss, and the black people don't have to worry about it because, according to Democrats, they don't even know how to use a computer.
They don't know how to get on the internet. They cannot find a DMV. They don't know where those are.
They have no clue what a driver's license is. Yeah, they have no idea. Impossible to get. Yeah, so
we're going to ignore the fact that a bunch of them end up in court and they have to show ID when they get there anyway. So they clearly have it. We'll ignore that. We'll just pretend that they're all too stupid to figure it out because it's easier that way.
Have you ever seen any of those man on the street interviews where they literally go up to black people and say, "Do you know what a driver's license is, sir?"
Yeah. What a weird
It
question.
was funny. It's so the Democrats. Oh, their racism low expectation is so virulent, dude.
It
It's
is.
so ridiculous. As if any American, no matter what their ethnicity, doesn't know basic stuff, right?
Right.
Goodness gracious, poor
It's pretty
black people.
impressive.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be
Pretty
able to wipe
impressive.
our own ass without a white liberal telling us where the toilet paper is.
Yeah, I know, right? Right. It's so insane, dude. But of course, this kind of this type of racism is rampant across the Western world, and it's
Yeah.
not just black people; it's all of the colored minorities. And the thing is, I find this quite funny because if we look at the world as a whole, which outside of say the Basque people or the Sami, right? Outside of these little teeny pockets, of all the major races, the 42 races of humanity, which one of them are actually the minority?
Uh, the
Would be
whites.
The whites. We are
Yeah.
the actual minority, but they've done such a good job of twisting it that the majorities keep telling us we're minorities and hating on us. And in our own
Yeah.
countries like Germany and Britain and places like that, you don't belong here, they say.
hmm
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's racist for the white man to have his own countries, apparently,
For
for some
have
reason.
anything, I
Everybody else is
suppose.
fine. They can have whatever they want. But for Whitey to have them, well,
Yeah.
well, forget the fact that, Germans and other ethnicity, Germanics, the other ethnicities, the Anglos, they've been living there for since always. Well, forget that fact. That doesn't matter. That only matters if we're talking about places where white people have gone.
Hmm.
You see? Then it matters very, very
Oh
much
yeah.
about the so-called natives
Oh
of
yeah.
that
Well,
land. Yeah.
we're the only people that have ever colonized, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're not native
what an
anywhere. We just
outrageous
popped up one
statement.
day and took
Um,
over. It's impressive, actually.
you know,
And,
re
and the irony is, a lot of those places white people live, all the shit they're talking about, you don't belong there. If white people hadn't inhabited those places, niggas wouldn't have went.
No, of
Right?
course not. Yeah, the free shit.
Niggas was not going to
Um,
colonize
that is
Scandinavia.
true. But
It was not gonna,
yeah. Well, another one of these kind of ugly things, Grimlock, that we see, they're on rotation, you see. Um, that I've seen come back as of late, the past month, is a lot of liberals going on about living on stolen land and indigenousness, right?
Yeah.
This has
Mm.
become, they've never let it go, but the past month or so, they've really been harping on it, right? I've seen a lot of examples of it. And the funny thing is, saw just the other day, this lady is asking, "Are you a native? Are you indigenous to these lands?" And he said, "Well, ma'am, I'm actually this percentage, Chippewa or something like that." And she said, "Like I said," and then she walked away. It was funny. But the thing is, of course, he doesn't know, but his response could have been anthropologically. Well, yes, ma'am. The white people are the actual only indigenous people here because this is where the Cro-Magnons evolved. So everybody else is encroaching upon our territory and therefore illegitimate. Because that's the
Yeah.
answer. Anthropologically, white people came from the Americas, North America particularly, where the United States of America sits mostly, is where
Right.
white people are originally from. That's our area of origin. Black people are from, South East Africa. The Asians, they're still arguing about. Indians are from there, although most of their land is underwater now, actually. That little peninsula you see, that little, the Indian shape, that is a small part of what they used to have. The rest of it's under the Indian Ocean. So, I mean, when you look at these main racial groups, they all developed somewhere. Now, to be fair, the humans have been developing for millions of years and all over the place, depending on how you take it. You might have a short view of history if you're highly religious. But nevertheless, the white people, though, we do know the oldest bones we find of any human, any Homo sapiens sapien, in in North America are white people, and those we call
Right.
Cro-Magnon, which is it's just a French place where they found them originally. But it's just white people, just whites. There's no,
Whitey's.
they're not separate. They're not some different human. It's just what we call the white humans, Cro-Magnon. So yeah, that's the reality. So we made it back, baby. We got back, baby.
We
But
did
I'd
it.
love to see someone give this gotcha to one of these idiots, simping fools in one of these, government places when they're up there showing their ass. I would love someone to make that statement. It would be so funny. It would set the internet on its freaking ear, dude.
Yep.
It'd be
I think it's
hilarious.
coming. I think you're seeing a massive shift globally from the white man specifically about these sorts of things, and to the point where there. I just watched this guy I mean, he's an out and out full on racist. This guy.
Yeah,
He
there
just
are
did
a
this
lot of them.
big. He just did this boxing match, right? He's a white guy, and he won the boxing match,
Hmm.
and he posted about it. And his post, where he straight up calls out a Jew, just that's what he does in it. I'm not sugarcoating it. Got last I saw over 71,000 likes. Just a little Twitter post.
Wow.
My point is, the winds have changed. This post-war liberalism bullshit that has been pushed on white men, because people get all crazy about evil racists. Your great grandfather was more racist than anybody you know today. I promise you, he was. He didn't like them. He didn't want nothing to do with them, or he was an anomaly if he wasn't. The vast majority of all of humankind since always has been racist to other races. They didn't like them. They didn't want them around. They went to wars to keep them away and to take their shit.
And
That's a fact.
yeah, no, that is fact. Tribalism is the standard, for sure. However,
Yeah.
I do think in the past they also didn't think in such lofty manners very often, and
No. Yes.
mostly
I
what they
agree.
did was judge the individual who was standing in front of them. A
Well,
lot more
yes,
than
but
we
I
do
would say
today.
if they like say you're in a village, yeah, and this guy who looks nothing like anybody else you know comes waltzing in, you're gonna immediately be. Even today, a lot of people
Yeah,
are gonna
keep
be,
an eye on that guy. Yeah, oh, keep an eye on
look
that
at this
guy.
guy. Yeah,
Send the
it's
sheriff
just
over to check it out. Yeah.
this idea that somehow the so-called far right, the vast majority of history is far right by their standards, right? Like what are we what are we talking about?
Name it.
Almost everybody's ancestors of every race all over the world was either more right wing than your average person by a factor of 10 today than they were back then because they had to be.
Yeah,
It wasn't
they're all
this.
agrarians. Yeah, that's true.
They were dying if they weren't very conservative. It wasn't a this wasn't we weren't playing patty cake out here.
Yeah.
We were dying in the winter times if we didn't prepare. So they had to be. They didn't have a choice. They couldn't trust strangers because they literally couldn't trust strangers. They didn't have the resources to risk losing anything.
No, they didn't.
The reason why they had such big families is because so many kids died when they were young,
Yeah,
and they just kept having them. Plus, they didn't have birth control. They didn't have any kind of
that's true.
contraceptive, really.
Now,
So it just happens.
now he's talking about the average person, the farmer, the agrarian peoples. Sure,
Yep.
the the government, which has been Romanesque for what 2,000, 3,000 years, really.
Yeah.
Sure, that stuff has always been industrial and capable. Yeah, yeah, sure. But the average person out in the countryside didn't have access to a lot of that, which is the
Right.
big difference between then and now. Now you can have someone in Podunk, Kansas,
Yep.
be able to have access to every single thing that you have if you live in the big city. It's different.
Yep.
It didn't used to be that way. We've had mega cities that have had technological capability. I'm telling you, if you went back to ancient Rome or ancient Greece or even Egypt, and you lived in the civic centers, you would find it quite comfortable as a modern person. You would. Now,
Yeah.
of course, you wouldn't have your little cell phone, but that'd probably be good for you. But
You
yeah,
wouldn't have
those are
air conditioning
convenience.
either.
No, but there were restaurants everywhere. There were markets to go shopping. The
Right.
ladies went and browsed and effectively window shopped for clothing. It wasn't different than it is now. It just wasn't. in the
Right.
civic centers in the cities. But in the countryside, it was really different. Really, really
Yes.
different. Yeah.
It
Uh,
was dog eat dog
it
out
was.
there.
It was pure survival. And occasionally, when the government deigned to give you its attention, was often not helpful at all. So that statement
Right.
from Reagan, the worst words you can hear is a government official coming up and saying, "How may I help you today?"
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm here to help.
yeah,
Oh
I'm here to
no,
help.
please don't be
Uh,
here to help.
that has
Please.
always been true. That has
Anything,
always been true.
anything but that, just please.
Yeah. There's actually
Oh man.
a guy from well, today it'd be part of Turkey, right there in the strait next to Greece, right, is where this guy
Right.
was. And he actually was he was sending a letter to Pompey because he was set to keep an account of what was going on at the time, because Pompey was trying to, you know, I don't want to get into the long history of Pompey and his conquests, but he
Mhm.
was a Roman general, friend of Julius Caesar's actually, that had to go head to head in the end. And I personally think Pompey just bowed out intentionally, but that's another
Mhm.
conversation. But he was meant to keep an eye on this particular region for Pompey, and he was just farmer. And
Right.
his letter, to just kind of sum it up, real tight, was to Pompey, and it wasn't about his job that he'd been assigned. It was like, "Mr. Pompey, sir, please stop sending your officials to help."
They've helped enough, please.
Please, Mr. Pompey, sir. It was so flowery. But yeah, that was one of my favorite little letters. And that's the great thing about studying history, and particularly something like the Romans, where we have just this avalanche of, information, documentation, right? There's so
Right.
much, more than anybody. Well, there are some libraries in India of a language that supposedly a couple of years ago there's a translator had a breakthrough. So we'll see. Those libraries are huge, and it'd be
Mhm.
great if we could finally read those, because those are ancient. Those are antediluvian, right? But
Right.
aside from that, the biggest source of information we have in the ancient world is not Greece, certainly not Egypt. It's Rome.
Right.
And we have so many things, guys. So much so that I could actually read a letter from a regional observer, I'll call him, to Pompey, requesting, please stop sending your government people. They're not helping. So,
Ah, nothing changes.
nothing
Nothing
changes. Yeah,
changes.
nothing changes.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
Please, no more. We can't take any more help.
yeah. I've actually read a similar letter from Chinese period, but that was Han period, so not as long ago. But it's
Yeah.
very similar tone, right? To the regional governor. Thank you for your help, but no, thank you. Um, yeah, no, because governments have their priorities, and that doesn't necessarily line up with your need, right?
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and so it is what it is. But nevertheless, chaos ensues across the world, and I thought I would talk about it a little bit today, if I might, because, like I was trying to say earlier, before I jump over to the other side, um, I said finally because when Korea fell, no one did anything about it. We went in for a
Mhm.
little while and then made a decision that it's not economically viable, and we just left it in the lurch until Donald Trump's first term, where he actually established peace. Keep in mind that war technically had been going on the whole time until about a decade ago, when well, not even a decade, where Donald Trump ended it, right? An
That's right.
actual, peace treaty. But no
Still doesn't
one.
get credit for that, by the way.
No,
Just
he
so
did.
we're
Of course
clear.
he does. He didn't get credit for anything. But no one went in really to help the Koreans. No one went in is going in to help the Burmese, right? No
Right.
one bothers to help with the Sudanese or the Somali. Uh, we, guess, went in to help Iraq, but we didn't do that very well. I won't
Hmm.
mention Afghanistan because it's always been a train wreck. Nobody went into Cuba. when Castro came in and did anything. I
Right.
guess Jimmy Carter made a slight gesture that failed miserably. Uh, nobody went into Hong Kong recently, and that was under Trump's first watch, by the way. No one helped them. No one helped them, right?
Yep.
There are many examples around the world of bad things happening to people and the rest of the world bitching about it, but doing nothing to help at all. Nothing. We just sit back and watch misery ensue, right?
That's right. While bitching,
47
making sure we
years.
get the bitching done.
Yeah, make sure we get that done. 47
Yeah.
years. The Iranian people have been under the heel of this Islamic regime. No one
That's
did
right.
anything. No one went in to help them. Nothing. We just sat back and like, oh, what a shame, such a shame.
That's tough, guys. Sucks to
Yeah,
be you.
sucks to be you, and no one did nothing. Now there are literal thousands of examples of this throughout history. Thousands of bad thing happening to people. Everyone knows it's bad, but no one doing anything to help them at all. Right?
Mhm.
And I love all the virtue signaling coming out of these assholes. And it's like you didn't do shit either. And then finally we get a president that's like, all right, well the people are showing a little bit of chutzpah. Let's get in there and help them out. 47 years. No one did
Yep.
shit. And then finally Donald Trump goes in what? 2 days effectively wipes that shit out.
Yeah, did a good job.
And cuz the reason why he's so good at that, by the way, you frickin' Democrats, is because he doesn't do anything. You see, you Democrats always want to put your little opinions into military affairs, even though you don't know shit about it. What Donald Trump
Right.
does is he says, "Oh yeah, military guy, go do your thing," right?
We
And
can kill these guys, sir. All right, do it.
yeah, go get him. He lets the military do their thing, which is why the military under Donald Trump is so terrifying, right?
And they
Because he
love it.
doesn't, and they love it, but he doesn't micromanage it, and the world loves it too. Actually, what's going on? Of course, now we're hitting. We saw with Venezuela that was a nothing burger that took place, but already the entire regime is under our thumb in a good way, right?
Yeah. Well,
Because
they don't want to get got. So
they don't want to
don't.
get got. Well, because a lot of leaders would have went in there and forced regime change and put different people in. But Trump, see,
Right.
he's our mafia boss. He's our godfather. And he's like,
That's
no,
right.
no, no. You guys, you're running it under Maduro. You keep running it. But you got to do what I say, or you got
You
to
got to do
get
it
got.
my way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how he does it, and boy, does it work. Look how
Seems to.
fast Venezuela turned, dude. Holy shit. They're actually starting to be in the red. How many weeks has it been?
Not many.
It's insane, dude. Right? And of course,
It
Cuba
is.
is already in the process because Big Marco Rubio is on that. Of course, he has a personal grudge here because he is Cuban. But and that's going to turn around without any violence at all. Trump put a little bit of pressure, just a couple of public statements, because we know they were talking. They weren't talking to that president guy. They were talking to the Castro's brother, who's 80 something and still alive.
Correct.
But they weren't acknowledging the talks were happening. So Trump was like, all right, I'll acknowledge it then. And therefore put huge pressure. And they came out immediately and said, yes, we are in talks and we're going to do this, 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 and this. So it's over. There's no war. All these idiots screaming about war. There's no need for war in Cuba. Now, Iran is slightly different, and I thought we'd talk about that. But just keep in mind all these places around the world that no one did shit to help. They did nothing, right?
For years.
For decades, right? In some
Yeah.
cases, centuries. And finally get a president who's willing to say, all right, let's go get it done. And we got this big, beautiful military. Why don't we use it? And boy, is
Yeah.
it what a freaking show, dude. What a
Well, we
show.
paid for the damn thing. We might as well do something with it.
And I love that thinking. Now, here is a map of Iran, of course. And it's not the Iran of past time, the Persia. Persia used to control all of this. But it is what it is. A pretty big country, actually. And it has a lot of problems. Keep in mind, one of its bigger problems, it has no damn water.
Yeah, a
right?
little bit of water
Overflowing with oil,
shortage.
yeah, because they're a bunch of idiots and don't manage anything properly. So this is what an
That's right.
education helps you with, ladies and gentlemen. But never and look at all these water sources, and they've drained them all. But nevertheless, here's your map. Now, this war is done. Their navy's gone. Their air force
Yeah,
is gone. Their military bases are gone. They can't. Every time they say this is our new leader, they get bombed and killed
you get
or
got.
broken. They
Hmm.
get got. So they got no leadership. It's completely done. But what you do have is your freedom fighter, of course, your guerrilla fighter that are causing a few consternations. And of course, this is always a problem, which is why you don't put boots on the ground. However, the real issue
Hmm.
we're having in here is not with and military. It's that you have these small little groups that are operating in these little fishing boats, and they had stockpiles hidden, obviously, and they're basically are mining the Persian Gulf with sea mines, old-fashioned ones, but they work.
Hmm.
And this is what the Americans are dealing with now. So it's not really a war issue. The war is well done. It is done, right? Took
Yeah.
48 hours for us to deal with that. But what they're dealing with now is little yahoos, true believers who are taking these stockpiles and just kind of putting mines all over the Persian Gulf. Now, of course, it was interesting that Iran came out and they said, "Oh, we are very happy friends with India and Russia and especially China. We love China. China, come on in." But there are many captured communique between Chinese tankers and cargo ships, right, coming into the region and
Yeah.
communicating with each other and they're just stuck and they're worried about starving to death because they're just floating in the Gulf of Oman waiting, right? So yeah, they came out and said, the China, you're welcome, come on in. Well, they can't because there is no authority, no one's in charge of anything, and they're just mining the hell out of it. But the Americans are dealing with that, and I don't think it'll take very long for us to fix it because there's one particular island here north of Bushir that is seems to be the main supply depot of these mines, and I think we send Marine detachment in, which good God. But uh, you don't want to fuck with the Marines, dude. People don't understand. They
Not
think
wise.
no, they because when we say Marine, a lot of people around the world think we mean Army, and it's like Jesus, no, dude. The Marines are basically like saying SEAL or some special black op. The Marines are a larger group than those usually are, but the Marines are the most elite black op you can drop on anything, right?
Yep.
But nevertheless, that's basically the issue is just dealing with these yahoos. They're not. It's not even government action. They're literally just the true believers out there doing this. And of course, the guerrilla tactic is always the hardest thing to deal with. So they are dealing with that. But basically, this thing is done and dusted. Now, Trump clearly didn't seem to care much for having Reza Pahlavi in charge of anything. It's quite clear he didn't care for the idea. Maybe he doesn't know him very well. And he was, but he also made an acknowledgement. All the people we know are dead. Thanks, Israel. But anyway, um, so Trump's in a bit of consternation with that. However, the people in Iran are screaming out Reza's name. They want their king back, which is weird, but that's what it is.
Mhm.
So he will be the dude, and he's actually going to be coming into Iran here very shortly. So it shows you how done and dusted this war or battle, I think I'd call it, is. However, the amount of problems that Iran has right now are not really about dealing with the Muslims. Because the people have been storming Muslim strongholds, and the people themselves are doing a lot of the hard work, which is wonderful, right? And of course, they're
Mhm.
dying while doing it, but they're getting it done. The problem they have is multifold, and one of them I already mentioned: water. They are literally not in a drought. It's the region is not under some special drought conditions beyond it being, a desert. Um, It's under drought because of all these water sources. I chose this map particularly because you could see the water very clearly. Look at all those lakes and all those things, and of
Right.
course they're all connected by rivers and stuff. But they've drained them all. They've drained them all in their stupid management. That's the problem with Islamists. They're not like their ancestors, who were quite clever. You know, these are
Yeah.
dumb people. They're stupid. They don't know how to manage
Centuries of
anything.
inbreeding will do that to you.
Yeah, but it's also the doctrines of Islam. That's the problem.
Yeah.
However, they have serious water issues. Serious water issues. And I'm not even joking. It's really bad. And also another thing that the Americans are really, and even Trump mentioned it, but we already knew this from reports from generals, if you've been paying attention. We're really trying hard not to take out the infrastructure because you
Yeah.
have to rebuild that shit. And what does
Yeah,
America
we don't want
always
that.
do? We rebuild everything, right? It's what we
Yes.
do, right? And they're trying real hard not to do that, and we'll see if they can, because these assholes are going to take advantage of any situation
Of
they can.
course.
And in a way, you can say, well, you don't blame them. This is an unmatched, unfair fight. But it is what it is. But so far, most of these double circle places, which are big cities, of course, if you know how to read a map, are under the people's control now. And vast majorities of Tehran, which of course, as you see, is the capital on this map, is mostly under the people's control. Not a completely, but the Americans, or probably the Israelis, to be honest with you, are bombing it. Most of the American action you haven't seen on tape, because the Americans are letting the Jews have their revenge and letting them take the forward position as far as media. Which,
Mhm.
fine, who cares? We don't care. The Americans certainly don't. But if you look at this map, you'll see, if you look at the double circles, the cities, most of that is under the people's control now. Mostly. They're still fighting in the streets. And the little other dot cities that you see, the smaller places, never were not under their control. Because
Right.
this regime, this Islamic invasion, has never controlled the whole country in the same way, say, the American government controls America, right? It's
Right.
not like that. They control through fear. When the people stand up and make noise, they go out and murder a few thousand of them, and the people go with their tail between their legs, back to their home. Fair enough. But this time they didn't, which is why Trump responded. And I'm hearing rumors from Papa Bear, Bill O'Reilly. It's one of the greatest things Colbert ever said. But Papa Bear is saying that there's information you don't have that Trump saw, and why he actually pulled the trigger. Interesting.
Yep.
Because for me, I was just like, well, the people were actually standing up and not retreating. Good opportunity, right? But it seems
Yeah.
that there might well have been other information at hand. Anyway, this is the situation in Iran. There is no war. I mean, if you're in Iran, there is, sure. But as far as America's point of view, there isn't. There's a lot of the media going, oh my God, the Iranian sleeper cells are going to kill us all. Okay, where are they? Where are the
This
constant daily reports of attack?
obsession that Iran is this huge threat, like they have these huge terror networks, and they've just been waiting, is so weird to me.
It is.
Because where are you getting that from?
Well,
Like they're not exactly known for their
efficiency.
organization.
No.
Yeah.
And in Texas, they were like, "Ah, that's an Iranian sleeper cell attack." That attack in Texas. No, those were Afghani. Oh, New York, there was a Iranian sleeper cell attack. No, those were Kurds, right?
Yeah.
And there was some other one in New York against a kids' school. It was like, no, those are Pakistani. I haven't seen any actual terrorist attack, which they happen all the time, by the way, right?
Yep.
This isn't nothing new. But I haven't seen any of them were actually Iranian. Because the thing is, most of the Iranians outside of Iran are Persians.
Right.
Yeah. because there are Muslims in Iran that aren't the same Muslims that are in charge, right? But they are, even they don't really like the regime because it's too hardcore, it's too hard nosed about stuff, but they're safe, right? So they're
Oh,
not stressing really. They probably prefer things to be a little bit more open minded, but it is what it is. But most of the Iranians you see outside of Iran, actual
right.
refugees, real ones, right? Because we kept going on about all these Syrian refugees. Whereas, well, where are the Syrian refugees? Oh, that's right, they're in Turkey. Because the ones that flooded into Europe and a little bit in America, those are from Pakistan and black African places. They weren't Syrians at all.
Right.
But Iranians, and of course, we have other examples, Vietnamese, Koreans, and stuff like that, of actual refugees. And we have many of them,
Yes.
and they love America and they love Trump. They're so elated, literally dancing in the street for him helping their people because for 47 fucking years, the world did shit. And this is the thing that pisses me off. We have places around the world, and we supposedly have this thing called the United Nations, where we work together for a better world. Well, then do so, asshole. Do so.
Yeah.
Make the world
Yeah.
better because there are places in the world that need help, and we do shit. We take advantage of it. We send monies over, supposedly helping starving black African children.
Supposedly.
But really, all we're doing is moving money around for a comeback in the Democratic Party, right? As it turns out. I mean, are you surprised? You shouldn't be. But we don't do shit for anyone. I love all these people talking about helping and humanity and all this nonsense. And it's like, well, what the fuck have we ever done for anybody? Basically, we sit back and we watch people suffer and we do nothing. So I don't want to hear anything about it. I don't want to hear anything about modern world, better world, loving world, humanity, all these fucking words you can shove right up your ass because none of you believe it. Because no one does shit. And we never have. And we probably sadly never will. An actual world order that brought peace, prosperity, and the pursuit of happiness to people would be fucking awesome. But we don't have it. We don't. You have all these yappers that get up there and constantly making their little fucking statements, but they do shit, and they never will. And it just, I don't know. Can you tell I'm irritated?
No.
Just a little.
No.
Just a little.
You're hiding it so well.
Yeah. Rant over. You know what I mean, though. It just infuriates me, dude.
Well, what's funny, so we have decades of Donald Trump out here making, comments about these things. He has, since I saw one 1987, I believe it was, he wrote some op-ed or something talking about something needs to be done about it. Or I think it was an interview. Something needs to be done about Iran. The way they behave is bullshit. Blah 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 blah. So he's been on about Iran since always, basically. He said both times he ran for office that he'll keep us out of forever wars, but he will not allow Iran to have nuclear capabilities. He's just not going to let that happen. It's a grave international threat. And he said he would act if he needed to, and he proved that the first time around by taking out their generals and whatever. And then this time around, they were much more prepared. Trump was, as far as like to govern. So nobody really should be surprised. Now, I don't want, and nobody wants, including the president, clearly, want a ground war in the Middle East. But if we're just going to bomb, I think the last number I heard, I'm sure it's higher now, they hit 15,000 confirmed hits. 15,000 last I heard. This was a couple days ago, so it's probably more.
Military's having fun. They're enjoying themselves.
That's insane. You understand, there's been whole wars, modern wars, where we didn't get that many hits. 15,000 confirmed destroys.
He
demolishes.
He unleashed them. Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, yeah, a few Americans have died, and that sucks. A lot of that's been incidental, but regardless, it still happened. The crazy thing is there's still people out here, I see them all over the internet, Chester, dead-ass serious. We're losing this war. What? By what metric?
What are you
I
talking
need that.
Well, Chinese
What
propaganda,
metric?
sure. Yeah, but I mean,
In what way are we losing? Okay, we've lost like 7 people, and most of that was accidental.
and had nothing to
Uh,
do with the war whatsoever. Yeah,
yeah. What?
just people
Huh?
died. But lucky for them, during this period, they got acknowledged where normally you wouldn't hear about it. But
Right.
I do love the theater of things, and it always makes me wonder because I'm always listening to the etymology of things, right?
Yep.
And this leader, this son of the Shah, Reza Pahlavi, I do find very interesting because Pahlavi means ruler, right? It means regent, boss, king, right? Is what it means, literally. It's a derivation, but it's still that's what it means, ruler, right? Okay, fine. A
Hmm.
ruler having a name that says ruler shouldn't shock anyone. But it's like people whose last name is literally king, right?
Right.
However, his first name is very interesting, Reza. Do you know what Reza
Reza.
means?
I do not.
It's a Persian word, but it's kind of like we have words that we've changed from other languages. It's actually an Arabic word, rida, and rida means to the one who brings contentment. So he is
Interesting.
the ruler who brings contentment, who brings happiness, who brings
Interesting.
relief, who brings satisfaction. Now, is that just a coincidence, or is it theater? Because you never
Well,
know.
you do not know.
But
You
anyway.
do not know.
Now, of course, with this conversation, Ron, which any of you who've been paying attention to the news, you don't need to tell me to tell you anything. But just some other imagery. Here is a city, the city in Iran. Now, of course, I chose this picture particularly because there's a flag there. Therefore, I don't know if that's real. That might be AI, maybe painted in. But at least, oh, Iran. But look at the background, the mountains. This is the problem. The
Yep.
basin that is Iran is surrounded by these mountains. So doing any kind of ground campaign in there is brutal, which is one of the main reasons Persia held power for so long, right? Because keep in mind,
Right.
when Alexander toppled the Persian Empire, which he did, right? And then of course it rose again because he mysteriously died, and the guy who was left in charge of that area just made it Persia again. But nevertheless, he did. Keep in mind Alexander never actually conquered the basin.
Right.
He just eroded their control so much that they had to make a deal. Right? He never
Sounds
actually went
familiar.
into this area, and this is why Iran still exists today, because their territory has been eaten away since Alexander. Right? They built and built and
Right.
built for a very long time, and then since Alexander, made them bend the knee, they've just been getting gobbled up a little bit here or there from various groups, and then of course completely conquered here 47 years ago, ultimately. But from within, of course, because they let in migrants. You see,
Oops.
oopsie.
Whoopsie.
And that's what happened, right? It's not like a foreign army marched into Iran. They were migrants in the country that rose up and took over. But
Oops a daisy.
taking this basin is an issue, and it always has been. And it's why one of their main strengths for a very long time. But so you have that, of course. I love this one, this picture. Of course, there are many pictures of bombs and fires, but that right there is it's basically their TV control station, where because you can't just watch whatever you want in Iran. It's not as policed as say China. Nothing is. But this is a propaganda machine, and it's gone now. So nice. But of course, you also have Allahu Akbar. Hi. We got a little mosque there in the back, and how beautiful it is. One of the beautiful places to travel to in Iran. I can't take it away from those old Arabs, though, man, and Persians. They could get stuff done, not like the new ones, but the old ones. Boy, they were something. But of course, this brings me to the before I get into any of the kind of entertainment stuff. Some of the other issues that I hear going on in the conversation. Russia is terrified. They're
Oh no,
shaking in their boots.
I bet they are.
China is devastated, which is actually kind of true.
Well,
China has Trump has been going at them in such a genius way, dude.
yep, through their
Indirectly
proxies.
through their proxies, and he's been so successful. China is another conversation because they have full on rebellion in the street now, full on rebellion.
Good.
People were doing a festival that they've done for hundreds of years. It's like a firework festival,
Hmm.
literally hundreds of years of tradition. And the police in the area just randomly were like, "We don't like you having too much fun. We're going to shut it down." It turned into a freaking riot. I mean, a full on thousands of people riot in the street. So now the government after is like, "Well, we can't have that." So they made that holiday and all holidays like it and all fireworks illegal. You're not in
In
China.
China, yeah,
So yeah, that's going to work out real well for you there, buddy. But
yeah, the place where they were invented. Good job. Good
but
call.
yeah, my question is this. What do you think about the external aspects going on with Iran? Because inside Iran, it's kind of a done deal. It's just a mopping up project. And seeing as the people are actually doing most of the heavy lifting, it'll get done, right? I'm not really
Right.
concerned much about what's going on in Iran. But the rhetoric in the media and, of course, politicians with what's going outside of Iran is very interesting. And I'm kind of curious if you guys have any opinions or maybe you've heard stuff I haven't heard because you are in country and I'm not.
Um, Not really, because over here it's a very strange situation we got here. So, by all account, like I said, by all accounts, America has not only won. It wasn't even really a war. It was just
No,
us beating the shit out of somebody far weaker than us.
it's a battle.
Which, in fairness, they deserved every bit of.
They did.
But you would think by listening to the media and listening to the quote unquote influencers over here, at least a big portion of them, that we not only lost this battle, we've lost thousands and thousands and thousands of troops. Israel is in ruins. The
Huh?
catastrophizing is
What?
yeah, it's like at another. There was a rumor going around that Netanyahu was killed. Like
Where are they getting this from?
they're just making it up because you see, here's what's happened, and this is it's a shame because there's valid reasons to hate Israel and the things they do, but it's the people who've allowed that to become their entire identity. Israel bad, hate Jews, but these people have lost their
Kill the
fucking
Jew.
minds. They've lost the plot entirely. They're incapable. See, this is why hatred is bad for you because it makes you insane, literally. You're incapable of discerning reality from fiction now, and that's where we're at. So they hate Israel so much, right? So much that they would rather America lose to Iran and obviously Iran wipe out Israel. None of which was ever really going to happen because yeah, okay, Iran's a big country, but Israel's an advanced country, and advanced usually wins historically. But regardless, my point is these people have lost the plot so much that they just believe everything they read on this so-called war instead of the reality of the situation. So some of them are talking about, like you were talking about the Strait. No, see, he didn't know that was going to happen. You're going to tell me you believe in your brain that the president of the United States, in charge of the greatest intelligence apparatus to ever exist, allegedly anyway, the most powerful, wealthiest country on earth, we have satellites all around the globe that can watch everything in real time right now. Didn't think to himself, what about this one strait here? What happens? What happens if we fuck them up and they go crazy there? He never that thought never came across his mind. Okay, fine. Okay, he's a buffoon. All right. What about the vice president? No, not him. Not the guy with the degrees and best-selling author. Nope, he's stupid too. Okay. What about Pete Hegseth, the man who's been in war, an actual warrior? No. Okay. How about all of the military generals and admirals in all of Sec Command? How about them? The Pentagon? They're incompetent too. This is what you have to believe to follow this line of thinking. That Trump, in charge of all of that, by the way, he's the man when it comes to all that stuff. He's the guy. Was so either arrogant or incompetent that he didn't have a plan or didn't foresee any of this happening. That's what you have to genuinely believe.
Even though we've seen that he's nothing but the guy with a plan.
Yes. And the people out there who I've seen some people say, Trump betrayed us. No, he didn't. He ran on going to war with Iran if he thought he needed to. He said it repeatedly. He would bomb the shit. He'd bomb the shit out of them. He said exact words.
Exactly.
Bomb the shit out of them.
And here's the thing. Just for you guys who are listening, I don't know where all that information's come from, but so far in this conflict, there have been Iran is basically attacking everyone around them just because it's the death throes of this country. And keep in mind, one of the largest armies in the world has just been, taken apart, right?
Yeah.
This is
ended.
This is not like a lot of these countries. The Iran did have a big army. It did, right? However,
past tense.
Death tolls outside, you mean non-Iranians. We've had 15 dead in Israel, and most of those were in one base attack. Mostly what they've had in Israel is a few cars get broken or some street damage, but they have had some damage. I mean, the Iron Dome system is 86, 87% effective, but that's still got a hole in it, right?
Right.
15 dead. We've had 13 U.S. soldiers die, but of which 7 of them are not even connected to the battle that's going on, right? So it's only actual 6 people who died, right? That were literally attacked, and they were on a base in Kuwait or Qatar. They were in a military base when Iran attacked with missile. They weren't even involved in the attack in Iran. So 13. We've had 19 people die in all of the Gulf states combined from Iranian missiles, right? So we have basically a total of 57 people dead from the Allies, right? Which is a lot, really. And keep in mind, all of those are not really directly linked to what's going on. But nevertheless, we'll just go with the 57 number, shall we? Now, not to mention the 50, 60,000, and I think it's 100,000 by now, Iranian citizens that had been murdered, them aside, right? We do know that in this couple of weeks, not even, we have taken out 1,444 top end officials within the Iranian government. 1,400 of them we've taken out.
That's crazy.
Do they have any left?
No. Matter of fact, Trump is bemoaning this because I don't know what it is, but maybe he doesn't know him. He hasn't said anything negative, but he clearly doesn't like the idea of Reza Pahlavi taking over. He wanted someone that he could control. I mean, he is a mafia boss. He doesn't know this guy, I think. I don't think he's going to have any say in that matter, though. But the problem is he's literally been moaning that all the people that we could have made deals with, they're all dead.
We got them all. Got them.
And, us and Israel. Israel, to be fair, they do use our technology. They have access to our satellite systems, et cetera, et cetera. But they are willing to pull that damn trigger, though, the Israelis.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the reality. There's your actual statistic. And if anyone, and trust me, this statistic that I'm using is coming from Al Jazeera. So
yeah, they have no reason to lie for Israel's benefit. I can assure you.
They wish it were more. They wish it were more. Right?
They're like, sons of bitches. Why won't they die?
And I'm also not reading it in English, by the way.
Right.
The English Google is a major stumbling block to finding any truth whatsoever. The other languages, because they're not as sophisticated inside their own cultures for this level of propaganda that Google is, you can find a more accurate representation of what they're thinking. Now that doesn't mean it's the truth, but it is more accurate of their direct propaganda, because Americans and Europeans and even Japanese, we're dealing with such a multi-layer level of propaganda, dude. It's ridiculous, right?
It's out of control.
Yeah. And keep in mind, of those 13 Americans that they say are dead, 15, sorry. No, 13. Yeah, 13. Some of those aren't even American. I know
Right.
one of them was a French guy attached.
Oh wow, what are we even upset about?
Yeah. Well, the French are upset about it. But I'm just saying. So all these people saying that Iran is winning, and of course Chinese propaganda is out of control. They're literally saying America's in shambles and devastated. But then again, every day their propaganda is all of America looks like the worst heroin addict street in Philadelphia. That's their propaganda of us, right?
Yeah, I see that on Twitter a lot too. Look how beautiful and advanced China is.
It's like, okie dokie, buddy. You don't know what you're talking about. But
yeah.
Why do you think Grimlock, seeing Thundero's telling me there's a whole gaggle of people in the West
Gaggle's
who
the right
are
word. Yeah.
just on about the absolute destruction and death of America? Why would you go so far as to want your own end? Because they're Americans, right? And if America falls, well, you fall with it, buddy.
You're not getting out.
You got any opinion on that, Grimlock?
Oh, yeah, as I said before.
He's talking into a toilet. What happened?
You feel all right there?
Get close to your mic, dude. Something happened. Get close to your mic. Tap it. Hit it. Usually hitting things helps.
Smack it, flip it, rub it down.
Say sweet things to it.
Am I coming in clear now?
No,
you are not.
No.
Huh. It's quite odd.
It is. That's all right. Just drop out and come back in. Not a big deal, dude. Just drop out and come back in with your answer, please. So
please.
Yeah, it is interesting. And of course, the Indians are having a field day with their various comments, because a lot of you no one talks about India very much, but understand they hate you.
They're not fans.
No, and you can't trust them at all for even half a second. In my humble opinion, they are the greatest threat to the West. It's actually India, right?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because they are actually the largest population. China lies, you see. They've never had 1 billion people.
No, China's never been known for that.
No. But India does have 1 billion people, legit, right? They have no problem. These people over here in the Orient, the Japanese are different because, well, they're mainly Russian, right? Just mixed in with their East Asian blood. But these people have a proverb, have an expression that they all live by. If you can cheat and lie and con and get away with it, good. The person who was cheated is the fool. They all have this concept. Right. In the West, that is abominable concept.
That's right.
But they all have that over here. Right? And Indians are no different, right? And they will take advantage of you. I'm telling you, they're the threat. They are the actual threat. And keep in mind, their men have zero respect for women's boundaries, by the way. An Indian man will come up, just grab you by your tits and think nothing of it. So good luck, ladies. Anyway, Grimlock, let's see what you got.
Am I coming in better now?
Clear as a
bell,
are much baby.
Better. Dulcet tones, even.
Fucking Discord. I tell you. As I said numerous times before, the quickest way to make an otherwise rational person completely irrational is make them emotional. And for the last
coffee.
50 years, that's exactly what has gone on in this country.
Yeah. 100%.
You look at, especially if you look at left-leaning entities, whether it's in the media or in public, wherever. It's all um, emotion based arguments. There's no logic. There's no reasoning because you're not thinking clearly when you're emotional.
Right. Yeah.
It's how you can. It's how you can do the shit that you can do the shit that you do, say the shit that you can say. Um, the people who are cheering, and another thing that when you're emotional, you're not thinking long term. Emotion is all about the moment.
Yes.
It's that's why when you hear people talk about logical people, "Oh, you're so cold and unfeeling." No, it's not that they're cold and unfeeling. Is to do what needs to be done. You can't.
Yep.
You cannot be in your feeling because you're going to sacrifice long term for short term, and it never works out. It never does. all the
Yep. No.
people, all the people who are sitting here talking about death, who are cheering for people who have been seeing Death to America 50 fucking years, which is longer than I've been alive.
Yes.
Guess what happens when they actually bring Death to America to your doorstep? Dumbass.
Right. Wait, they're not gonna leave them out? Well, that can't be
Yeah,
right.
well, I said, and the proof of this that people are not thinking, that people don't think. Remember the Renee Good incident just a few months ago?
Oh yeah.
What was the first thing her idiot girlfriend said when she got shot? You used real bullets? You're using real bullets? Yes, bitch.
Yes.
They was using
Yes,
real
this
bullets
pistol here has real bullets in it. Yes, that is correct.
because unlike who was there LARPing, those people was doing their job, and their job was to make an arrest. You was obstructing.
Yeah. Yeah.
When people
Well,
who
it's
say
interesting.
death to America come to your door, they're not going to be coming with gift baskets.
Right.
They're
Well, they
coming
might, but those gift baskets will contain bombs. You see, they're not coming to be friends. Uh, but no, you're completely correct. You remind me what Chester was talking about earlier with the UN, and there's a very simple little axiom here. If you want to have a world government, you need to have a world military. And for about since the founding of the UN, that was pretty much the United States military. But we're done with that now. We're not doing that anymore. We've had enough. So you can't enforce international law, which isn't real, by the way, for the very same reason, because there is not a global government that has a global military that can enforce the law globally. It doesn't exist if the United States says it doesn't exist. That's it. You don't have to like it, everybody else. I don't even necessarily like it, but that's reality. The reality is there's no such thing as international law. There's no such thing as a peaceful jihadi, right? There's no such thing as somebody's gonna make these people pay. When the global superpower, the hegemon, the most powerful country on the planet by far, and it's not close, it's not even debatable, says this is the way it is. You know what? Well, shucks. Gee shucks, dang it, that's the way it is. And you don't have, like I said, you don't have to like it. You don't even necessarily have to respect it, but you're going to accept it because you don't have a choice. And a lot of people, like you were talking about, a lot of people live in this fantasy world, this little fantasy land, where reality doesn't actually matter. Like there's no consequences. They have real bullets in their guns. Yes, they do, and they will shoot you dead with them, because if they don't know whether you'll shoot them dead. They have no way of knowing. They don't know if you're intending to try and run them over with a car. All they know is that you almost did. And that's all that matters. This idea that, remember when that whole situation went down, I was like, she wasn't trying to, doesn't matter. The intent in this case is irrelevant. The man, rightly, since he went to the hospital injured, assumed had to assume in that circumstance, that split second that it was, like 10 seconds at most, and that's being very generous, that this woman was trying to kill him with her automobile. And he defended that, stopped what he perceived at that moment a threat. By the way, this person had been terrorizing the officers. That's what they've been doing, terrorizing them while they were trying to do their job. Their legally allowed job, by the way. No one can tell them they couldn't do it. It is quite literally the point of their organization. And they were breaking no laws and largely hurting nobody that didn't need to be injured in any way. So this whole idea that liberals especially have allowed themselves to believe, it's fantasy land. The idea of liberalism itself is fantasy land. This idea that we're all equal is ridiculous. That's obviously preposterous, right? And if you don't think that's the case, ask any normal man if he has a chance with a 9 or a 10. They all know they don't. They know unless they get stupid rich somehow, they got no shot in hell of that girl looking at them, no matter how funny they are, no matter how charming they are, no matter none of it. If they don't get clout or money, that woman's not going to ever be interested in them because they're just not handsome enough, and there's nothing they can do about that. Maybe plastic surgery, maybe, but even then, some things can't be fixed, right? We're not all equal on any metric. That's just one metric. On any metric, we're just not. It's preposterous. It's a lie. It's a myth. So the idea of liberalism, the foundational belief of liberalism is equality, egalitarianism. That's bullshit. That's not real. Therefore, when reality starts to rear its ugly head yet again, which it's been doing for a while, you're going to see more and more of that get abandoned. More and more of these luxury beliefs are going to go to the wayside. One of those luxury beliefs is that racism, as we call it, is a bad thing. Well, that's not true. First of all, there's no such thing as a bad thing when it comes to a thought process. A thought process is just a thought process. It's what you do with it that matters.
Yeah.
This idea that we can somehow just, well, these people think this, so therefore they're bad. Well, wait a minute. Just, they think something. Okay. Other people think other things. Okay. Either we have egalitarianism and all thoughts are permitted because they would have to be, or we don't. So then here we go. We're peeling back the onion of more of liberalism's lies. Yeah, you can have any idea you want as long as it agrees with us.
Oh,
that's where it's been for 250 years since the foundation of liberalism. Okay. It's always been wrong. They've always been the bad guys, and the reality is they've been winning that whole time. They wiped out the aristocracy. They wiped out the old world. They wiped it all out with their insistence that everything has to be equal, which is fairy tale land. Nothing's equal.
Well, I agree with you until we get into the conversation of people who like boiled peanuts. And they go, well, that's evil.
Get them out. Get them out of here. Yep.
Evil.
We just work out half the South, so
yeah,
you take that up and down.
But I can't stand boiled peanuts. I don't know what the hell's wrong with you people.
Another thing that Trump has done that goes further into this, about these people being completely emotional or rational, is he's taken away what I refer to the forever talking points. Iran was supposed to be a forever talking point.
That's right.
Iran, problem. Whatever people want to say about it or not, the truth of the matter is, Iran was a failure of previous administrations, going back to the Carter administration. Just what it is. It is a previous failure of Trump's first administration because he really didn't do anything. He didn't go this far. If you want to go into it, see what those forever talking points is meant to do. Because let's be frank, nobody really talks about this shit until election season. Nobody gave a fuck about Iran until recently. Nobody on this. Think about it. We had a president give them over $1 billion cash. They took that $1 billion in cash and made three of the biggest they housed three of the biggest terrorist organizations in the last 20 years with ISIS,
Yeah.
Hezbollah, Hamas, right? We had an American president. He should be hanging for that, but nobody's talking about that.
Yep.
And nobody was talking about it.
Well, I mean,
Then
his
we
name's
had,
Barack Hussein Obama. Are you really surprised?
No, he's not a Muslim, Chester. They all tell me he's a deep Christian. Clearly.
Yeah, they didn't really hide this very well, guys.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
well, well, he was the America last president. He literally served the interest of everybody but Americans.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, that's
I
true.
can't, you know, it it is what it is. But um, if you look at the other talking points, like now he didn't directly do this, but he put people in position of power to do it. The whole Roe v. Wade shit. That was another forever talking point.
Yep.
Whereas Trump is just coming along and going, okay, we're just gonna fix it. We're just gonna end this. For better or worse, this ends here and now. That's what he's doing.
Yep.
Whereas
Reformer.
where as you had these topics that would only come up during election season or during strategic moments in time, like like the midterms, where these people wasn't, the things people wasn't even thinking about. Now all of a sudden, everybody's an expert on the geopolitical climate of the Middle East.
Right.
People who can't fucking put the grocery cart back in its little fucking area
I hate
are now
that dude.
telling you how to fix a problem that's been going on for 50 fucking years.
Yeah, and no one
The,
did
the,
anything about it.
yeah,
They just bitched.
again, the problems with Venezuela. That shit's been going on for 30 fucking years. Because,
Yep.
I hate to tell you this, all you people crying fascists, um, they've lived under 30 years with elected officials. They didn't. I'm quote quoting elected officials that lost and somehow won.
That's right.
So
Lost straight up, and yet somehow stayed in power. That's curious. How's that work?
Well, it's a slight aside, but I think it touches into what you're saying with the propaganda. Supposedly, I saw a news article yesterday, or 2 days ago maybe, and it stated that Ukraine has entered the war with the Allies and sent 100,000 drones into Iran to help defeat the IRGC. Now,
how?
how? Yeah, how?
Well, don't ask that. Come on. You know they can't answer that question, Chester. What are you doing? Why are you setting them up for failure like this? They don't have an answer for that.
I mean,
Why don't you just play along? All right.
Okay, all right.
But again, goes back to what we were saying, right? A logical person would say the first question would be how. The second
Yeah.
question would be if they have a fucking 100,000 drones, why the fuck haven't they been using it on Russia this entire time?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You mean to tell me you had 100,000 drones? You could have hit St. Pete. You could have actually had Putin backpedaled. You could have hit St. Petersburg.
Yeah. You see, here
Yeah.
are the articles, by the way. I'm not making that up.
Yeah. It's just okay. The question. I have questions.
Yeah.
Where and when, why, and how do they have these drones, and for what purpose have they not been utilized? Like you said, you could have hit St. Petersburg. You probably could have got even to Moscow if you got them in close
I
enough.
would say Moscow's closer. Moscow's
Yeah,
closer.
I mean, there's a lot of things you could have did. 100,000. I don't think they have the technology to stop that many at once. Maybe they do. Maybe Russia's got some shit we don't know about.
No,
but I don't think so.
Not 100%. Nothing is
It's in St.
100%.
Petersburg where they keep Lenin's grave.
Probably, yeah.
I'd imagine.
Because if I
Yeah.
was
Since it was
petty, I would
called
Jones.
Leningrad for all that period, yeah.
That's what I would Jones strike as a petty motherfucker.
Yeah, fair enough. But But it brings into question the legitimacy of the news reporting, one, and it also possibly brings in the legitimacy of this whole Ukraine war thing,
Yeah.
right? Because what is it what the young people would say? If you watch Putin in his conversations, he's always very nonplussed.
Doesn't seem too
Yep.
agitated, does he?
No. And his people. Now, why is that? Is that just the stoicism of the Russians? Well, if you actually knew any Russians, you know that is complete bullshit. Russians are love to dance and sing, and
Yep.
they're noisy. They're very American. We're very similar. They're not.
I was
We
about
have
to,
this Hollywood image of the Russians as being these, I must break you. That's not who they are. They're very gregarious people, actually.
yeah, I was about to
So
say there are a lot of things. I wouldn't exactly put that on them.
no, it is, but the Hollywood does, right? Everyone has this image of them as being incredibly stoic. Now, they have stoics amongst them, I'm sure, but they're very similar to America. And so is China. This is the thing: Russia, China, and America culturally are very similar. We really
Yep.
are. We should be the best of friends.
But we're
What do you
not.
think?
Well, imagine that union: a China running properly, combined with a Russia and an America. Wow.
The Americino Russo Empire. It'd be the pact
Just,
of all pacts.
just in time for the aliens to invade.
Jet perfect timing.
Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna need each other at that point.
But
We're gonna be in trouble.
that little report about Ukrainian drones and the number of them, it just went right
Yeah,
under the radar. I haven't heard
that's
anyone
right.
mention that, right? No one has brought that up.
I
Not the
heard somebody
Daily
mention it.
Wire
I heard one
guys.
guy.
You heard one guy?
One guy mentioned it, and he said, "See, America had to ask for drones.
Oh,
They had
so
to
they're
ask for
using
them."
in the negative. I see.
Yeah, yeah.
But
America's losing so badly they had to ask for drones. I'm like,
well, actually,
guys, you're so far down the rabbit hole, guys. This isn't healthy. You got
yeah.
to get off the internet for like a year at least. Just unplug, stop it, get some help.
Well, in the articles, they mentioned that this was in collaboration with French, not Americans.
Yeah.
So,
Oops.
um,
Whoopsie.
but still, it doesn't make any sense. How? Now, if they sent like a couple of drone technicians, like, hey, we've really had to learn how to use these things and try to save our ass, and we've had success with it, and here's a couple of guys who know how to do it, maybe give you some advice. Oh, okay. I'd buy that instantly. But
Sure.
100,000 drones sent by Ukraine, what are you talking about? Supposedly, they're in ultra desperation that Zelensky is constantly begging for money, constantly, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So what? 100,000 drones? Are you out of your mind? Now, of course, this
I
war
would
is
even
is in
I would
is
even have a
stalling.
hard time. I would even have a hard time them sending a couple technicians. I'm like, wait a minute. As much as this thing is begging for money,
Yeah, but
where the
I
fuck does
believe
he
it
get off
though.
sending stuff
I
everywhere?
I could believe that is my point.
Be
It's
more
believable.
believable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's more believable, but I'd be like, he's stupid as fuck if he does that.
And
He
besides,
don't have no resources.
if you really wanted someone who understands drone technology, I don't know, send an American.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean,
Yeah.
we're actually the masters of drone technology.
We're the masters of the sky, Chester.
Yeah.
See, that's every great hegemonic empire has ruled something, right? They've been the
Yeah.
dominant force of at least one thing at a level that no one's ever seen before.
Usually the
But
seas
yeah, well, the skies are now ours, and space too. We're having that. We'll be taking that too.
and the
We'll just
seas. We
have
own
that.
those too.
Yeah, yeah, but the skies are what is the real situation, I think, because yes, the sea is obviously very important. I'm not saying it's not, but when it comes to actual open destruction, open
Oh yeah,
warfare,
yeah,
open battle,
yeah.
the sky I think is a bigger
Well,
get.
yeah, I saw a video the other day, and I think it was on Saturday, my Saturday, and it was the Iranians are loving this, by the way. Now, I
Yeah,
don't think they're taking into account the amount of infrastructural damage that's taking place, which Trump is trying to minimize. But they're just happy to see the regime getting their ass kicked, right? In general. But you saw a video where you see this just in the background, this building just go up and just light right up, right? And it was like,
Right.
oh, they're on their iPhones, right? And then a second later, a screeching eagle rips by, right? And then
Nice.
another just lay down of absolute fire, and another screeching eagle goes by. So those missiles are faster than those jets, boy. I tell you what,
Oh
because
yeah.
it took a little bit for the plane to pass, right? But the
Right.
sound of those thundering, I don't know what would those be, F-35s maybe,
Probably yeah.
or whatever they are. But damn, American air superiority, baby. But now I wonder if they've hit any mosques. Probably not. It's not our style, is it?
It should
You
be,
know.
but no, it's not.
Well, we chose Nagasaki and of course Hiroshima to bomb in Japan with a pretty serious weapon at the time, anyway. And we didn't attack something like, say, Kyoto, which would have been a much better hit, because, well, there's a lot of cultural, traditional, ancient things there. Maybe we shouldn't really destroy their history. Americans think like this. Now, do you
Yes.
think an Iranian IRGC member would even take even a second to think about destroying your cultural heritage?
No.
Yeah,
No.
I'm
No.
blow up St.
No.
Chinese,
Patrick's Cathedral tomorrow.
say it again.
They would blow up St. Patrick's Cathedral tomorrow.
Oh, they would. They would. They would. There's very few people in the world that actually would take such things in consideration. The Americans do. The Russians do, actually. Interestingly, they're very protective of Ukrainian historical sites. Isn't that interesting? The
Hmm.
Europeans, these modern Europeans, I don't think so. Right? But there's not a lot of people in the world that would consider your culture in their attack plan.
Right.
And
No.
you,
No.
no,
Well, but you mentioned the World War II bombings. Yeah, except for one of those cities was the Christian center of Iran or of Japan. They didn't have any problem hitting the biggest
no, they had
Christian
no trouble
city.
with that, did they? But then, of course, World War II is a little bit different the way it went, but this is why a lot of conspiracy theorists think that World War II was more of a cleanup at the
Hmm.
end of the Tartarian Age, and fair enough. Like one of the cities that was taken off the map in Germany was Dresden. Now,
Oh yeah, and it was.
um,
Poof.
wow. But if you
Yep.
see the old photographs, because keep in mind, we have photography, good photography going back to the 1840s, right?
Right.
So we have lots of pictures of places all over the world. Dresden was highly photographed because it was a stunning example of late Roman success. Just
Yep.
gorgeous city, giant, everything brick everywhere. The entire city is brick, underground sewers, just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Go look back at the old photos of Dresden, dude, and they leveled the shit out of that. Why?
Decimated it.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Well, decimate means to reduce by 10%. I'd say they
I
obliterated.
know I do it to you every time. Every time he can't help himself.
My own president says it, and it irritates me. So many people keep using decimate, that you dumbasses. Look at the word deci. 10%.
We've
Reduce,
flipped it now.
mate.
We're only leaving 10%, Chester. We've decided. It's done.
What if he said decimate by a factor of 10? Would you feel better?
Yes, I would. I would. I'd feel a lot better. I would feel better. So if you want to say that, then say disdecimate, disindecimate. If you want to say to leave 10%, right?
Yeah, but no
Now,
one's doing all that. That's a lot of
no,
words.
it,
That's a
it
lot of
irritates
that's a
me.
lot of conjugation.
Well, what I need to do is sit the planet down, the English-speaking world, and say, okay, look, folks, all right.
Pretty much the planet nowadays.
Yeah,
It's pretty much
No,
that's
everybody.
not what it
no,
means.
you know, you
Also,
know. I've
schnitzel is
come,
not a thing. It's a German food. I just got to help them out.
I've come to realize what I think would be the funniest shit in the world for me to say. And the funny shit in the world would be to see Chester get robbed by a Cajun, and him trying to correct his English as the man robs him.
A Cajun.
Yes.
Well, my dad's family are all Creole anyway. As far as culturally, and they sound like that. They do irritate me. You're correct.
He can't help himself, folks. He simply cannot help himself.
Well, that Cajun Creole stuff, actually, Creole would be the correct word. Cajun is a culture. Creole would be the language and the stuff like that. But that Creole is the worst pidgin English French. You know, I almost want to say, a West African mixed up language you've ever heard in your life, dude. So
It's pretty rough.
Yeah. So pidgin.
It's pretty rough.
Pigeons. Damn dirty birds.
Doesn't like the pigeons, folks.
I was in Nagasaki's Chinatown, which is supposed to be the big famous Chinatown in Japan, even though it's very much a tourist place and the food sucks. But whatever. It's typical tourist nonsense. Try not to go tourist nonsense. You're not getting the best example of the culture. But nevertheless, I was over there because my wife wanted to try it because she'd never been to Nagasaki before, even though I had already been with music many times. And so we wanted to go to Chinatown. I was like, all right, fine. I like Chinese food. And I was highly disappointed. However, we were eating this street food. It's basically, you know how they have steam buns?
Yes.
You know, the Chinese steamed bun? Well, take a steam bun, kind of flatten it out into almost like a thick naan bread, right? Put like a piece of, not the char siu or the barbecue pork that's nice and roasted, but the boiled type. Put that in there, or I guess simmered in a sauce type. Put that in between, fold it over like a taco, and have at it. I don't like it very much, but they are popular because I'd rather have the roasted pork, Chinese pork. That's way better. But nevertheless, we're sitting there having these and trying them out. And I just couldn't believe how many damn pigeons were all walking about. And they were all coming up to me like, can we have some? I was like, go away, stupid pigeon.
You got to be careful around them Chinese.
They'll eat you. What are you doing here? You're in threat for your life. What about trans pigeon? Boy, Maple Chic is still on that. Last week I mentioned that some of them pass. It's not a lot, but you do see the occasional trans person that actually looks female, right? Actually looks, right? It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
And from that simple statement, he just won't let it go. Okay, dude. But anyway, nevertheless, I do need to jump over and do the entertainment side of stuff. But
he does.
I do. But the situation in Iran it's a mop-up phase. The war or battle, I wouldn't even call it war. It was only 2 days. Battle is over. And now we just got to sit back and take a look at the Iranian people getting their freedom back. How nice is that? A lot of questions have come in as far as, Russia didn't even make a peep during all this, if you've noticed. Neither did India. And most of the noise from the BRICS nations, that supposed economic organization, were bitching at Iran.
That's not real.
Well, I'm just saying they were bitching at Iran, not us. Interesting.
Yeah, they don't want no smoke with the hegemon.
They don't want smoke.
Because America is finally flexing. You see, people have to understand the power of the United States military is nearly impossible to quantify. We're so far beyond anyone else ever, what we're capable of instantly, in no time at all, especially comparatively. And nobody really wants that smoke. So if we have a more militaristic, or at least willing to use it, administration or regime in charge, everybody's going, as Trump has proven, aside from the people like the Europeans who are always going to be pompous assholes, everybody else is going to come to that table and talk. They might not like it, but they don't have a choice. And that's the reality of it.
They all hate us anyway.
Yeah, fuck them.
Well, who cares? I mean, who gives a shit? You're not going to make them happy. You are the enemy because you're successful. That's that. You're king of the hill. Deal with it. That's just
We've given so many of these places billions and billions and billions of dollars over the years for various reasons. And lo and behold, they all still seem to dislike us very much.
Yeah,
okay.
No respect whatsoever.
So
fuck I don't really care. Fuck them. That's 100% true. American supremacy. I'm all for it. But I hopefully we'll see more and more of it, bringing more people to the table. So Iran's in a good situation going forward. It's going to be great for those people. How wonderful to get Iran back, right? That's nice. China is besides itself. And honestly, I don't know how much longer the CCP will survive in its current form. So you have that. Cuba has basically said no mas. So literally.
They literally can do nothing. I mean, they have no choice.
What are they going to do?
None.
But once again, getting Cuba back, wonderful. That's great. Venezuela is already showing a turn. Argentina, what a year they had. And Trump backed that day one, right? With Milei. So this guy, I mean, I'm fine with him putting constitutionalists in the Supreme Court. Rock on. I'm fine with his economic policies because they're working, right? But I'm still shocked at how good he is at international politics. Holy shit, dude. Because imagine if by the end of his time, most of these communist dictatorships around the world are either done or healed. Because that's what he's working on. That's what he's working on. Right?
It'd be good.
What did he say to Cambodia to get those dumbass communists to back off Thailand? What did he say? I wonder. Because Thailand wasn't the problem in that situation. Not saying Thailand hasn't been a problem, but in that case they weren't. It was the communists in Cambodia. What did he say to those people to back up Cambodia? I mean, because they don't have much, right? I mean, Cambodia is a pretty busted up place, right? After Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge. And keep in mind, it's the Thai that had to go in and end that. It's another situation of people seeing the absolute atrocity of the killing fields going on, and no one did shit about it. No one. The Thai had to go in and deal with that. The Thai army of all armies. And they did.
Yep.
They shut it down. And you know what they did? Did they keep power? They could have. They conquered them. They could have took and just absorbed Cambodia into Thailand. They didn't do that. They tried to help get them to build up their own government. Of course, that went communist ultimately, just like Vietnam did. But I'm just curious what he said to Cambodia. What did he promise them? I'm going to give you 2 baskets of apples. I don't know. I'd love to hear that conversation, right? But
no, it's just easier to hate the man. You see,
it is
for these people.
I don't know why you think they'd be elated. Look how many people around the world cheer Trump. He's so popular.
They seem to like him.
Yeah, because
they seem to like him.
Respect a strong leader, dude. Anyway,
they do.
Let me go over here and do the entertainment side. That is a beautiful picture, though, of this mosque.
It's one of the other failures of liberalism. They've convinced the world that power is a bad thing. No. This whole notion that power corrupts, that's not true. You're already corrupt unless you decide to be better. Period. All powers might do is amplify that. But you don't even have to have any power at all to be a piece of shit. None.
No.
There's plenty of poor pieces of shit out there. I've seen them. I've met them. I know them. Yeah. They're there. Yeah. So it's not power that's corrupting you. It's you that's corrupting you. And you can either use power to help people or to hurt people, but power itself is a neutral force. Period. Yeah, and I think that we're starting to see this unravel. Yes, we're starting to see this unravel. These lies that liberalism, this spell of liberalism over the world for the last 250 or so years is ending. And that's a good thing.
It
Because
is.
it's not the truth. It's based on lies. It doesn't take into account human nature as a fact. For liberalism, it's a problem. It's not a problem. It's reality. Now that doesn't mean there's not problems with it, of course. But it's a fact of nature, the way humans are. We're greedy, cowardly, selfish beings. All of us, to some level. Unless we choose to do
Well,
better.
humans are very self-serving. I mean, by nature.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why
Yes.
capitalism works so well.
Correct.
Anyway, let's move on here. The first little bit of news I got, it's curious, interesting. I'm not sure. Go ahead.
Uh-oh. Firefly animated series announced. Nathan Fillion says it's in advanced development. So this was the little thing he was doing, huh? Because he
Yeah,
was going around everybody's door and saying, saying we're back or whatever. This is what it was. This is what it was all for.
this is it.
All
And
right.
he actually here in this, you can click on the. If you go to this article, you can click on this post, and you can see his message where he's speaking. But basically, yeah, and it's sat between the 2002 run and the 2005 movie. So it's between that. So we're going to get more adventures from the crew. It sounds like everybody is back to
Everybody.
voice. So sweet. And it's animated. And here is a mock up. Now, Shadow Machine is the company that's running it. And they said award winning Shadow Machine. And I'd never heard it offhand, but there's a lot of shit I don't know. So I went and looked it up. I went to their website.
Oh, site under construction. Okay.
So that
That's
wasn't
funny.
encouraging. That wasn't
It's
encouraging.
not a good sign. That's not a good sign. Mm-mm.
I went and Wikipedia'd them, and they have created many things, I guess. Most notably, Robot Chicken. Okay, so
Oh,
I know people like
okay.
the comedy of Robot Chicken, but is it quality? All
No.
these other things I don't know. Morel Orel, never heard of it. Mary Shelley's
Oh,
Frankenhole, that sounds like a porno. The Shivering Truth, Titan Maximum for Adult Swim. I don't know any of this shit. BoJack Horseman,
mm,
what the hell is a BoJack? Um,
um, those
I don't know
actually,
any of this shit, dude. Do you?
yeah.
Yes.
Although
Yeah,
they
it's
did do
Adult Swim
Moral,
Zodiac, and
stuff.
that is a pretty good movie, actually.
Moral Oral, it was kind of like
Pinocchio? Oh, okay, that was pretty
no,
good.
it was kind of like a parody of like Davy and Goliath from the '60s,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I
but
remember Davy and
it's
Goliath.
it, okay. It's actually really good, but that show is dark as fuck.
BoJack
Yeah.
It's
Horseman. Uh,
that
um,
another one that's good. That gets dark.
something about Bob the Giant,
Um,
Barry Giant. I haven't heard of this Guillermo del Toro. Maybe it's upcoming. His Pinocchio was pretty good, so they were involved in that. So, all right, there's two movies here I've heard of. I don't know any of these TV shows, but anyway, they've done a lot though. They are busy boys. But anyway, they're in charge, even though this is their website.
that's a good sign to be honest. Actually, they, that era of Adult Swim, because that's where a lot of those shows was on Cartoon Network's Adult Swim. That
Yep.
was considered their golden era. So
Yeah.
if they got Shadow Machine and plus, um, I'm trying to remember if it was Boom Studios or IDW. I think it was Boom Studios that was doing the Firefly comic. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering if they're going to be taking
I thought I
any of
think
that
that was I think
material.
that was Boom, right?
I
Let me
think
go
so.
check. I'll check it. I'll check it.
But if it is, I wonder if they're taking any of that material and adapting it because that could be interesting.
Yeah, because we looked at a
That
couple of those. I remember. Um, yeah, Kirkman was involved with it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Boom. Yeah, Boom. Yep, yep. 'Cause I remember we covered it, and they looked really good. By the way, let me just show you one cover here real quick. If it's going to load. Yeah, they look pretty good. The art looks nice, and the style of this art, if you come over and you look what I was showing here, it's very similar. So maybe they have same artist because River looks like that comic book version, as does everybody else. So Obviously, they're trying to lean into the TV show representative, except for River, but they still kind of have more of the comic book look to them. But
Right.
fair enough. You go read the article. They're all excited about it. They're all on board. So rock on. I hated the fact that they canceled Firefly. That was so much fun. However, this is my question:
Oh,
why?
I
it's one of those things that has never died, Chester. People still
Yeah,
love
but
Firefly.
yeah, I get that, but we could bring them back. It doesn't matter if the crew's a bit older. Who cares? Why set it between? Okay, because you have the whole crew. I get that, but why animated though?
at this point, why not?
Yeah, but that's more expensive. Live action would be cheaper.
Unless they're using
That
AI to help with the pricing, the cost.
Maybe, but I mean, if you look at the art,
well,
that's pretty
I would
standard.
say I would say Shadow Machine. If that's what they're working with, is very experienced in that. And if I'm not mistaken, a lot of those shows that we talked about during Adult Swim's Golden Age, it wasn't like they had massive budgets.
No, and
Yeah,
I'm
they
sure
they
this
So,
doesn't
work
either.
cheap. They work real
so
cheap.
And honestly, I never watched Adult Swim.
well, we did, and a lot of those shows, like, yeah, they wasn't getting massive budgets. So maybe that's another thing, going into it, that maybe, looking at a group like Shadow Machine, especially if it's mostly that same crew from back then, saying, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, what is it you think is about Firefly that is so lasting? Because it is, it has lasted. My opinion is the fact that it's no nonsense. Mal, Nathan Fillion's character, he is a heroic character, but he will murder your ass in a second. It is not the standard, heroic, archetype. Um, I mean, there's a couple of scenes that pop in my head immediately. He's interrogating a bunch of guys for information. When the first guy doesn't give him information, he kicks him into a freaking engine. Right?
you,
The,
you,
Easy
you,
peasy.
easy
you
peasy.
know, I think it hasn't. I think it hasn't gone away. I and this is something we've talked about a bunch of times. Throughout. You know, since you've been doing the show.
Yeah,
Firefly, I think, was one of the last, you could say, original IPs that came along and came and developed developed its own developed a very loyal following.
it did. I
Uh,
amongst
you
them.
know, we
Yeah.
we always talk about these cult classics and stuff, and we always referencing something back from from the '60s through the '80s. But Firefly, compared to those other ones, is early 2000s, and it's had that, and it was something that it didn't get canceled because it was bad. It just got canceled because of the BS that is syndicated TV at the time.
Yeah, they
And
had other things they wanted to
um,
focus their money on. With Fox. Yeah.
yeah, and unlike these other shows, I think, because we've also seen so many reboots, so many revivals. Family Guy was rebooted twice.
Right.
Futurama was rebooted 3 times. Um, King of the Hill came back. All of these we've seen so many reboots of so many franchises, and everybody's like, "Hey, you're rebooting everything else. How about this show that people actually liked and got canceled for no good fucking reason? Why not give this a shot?"
Yeah, no, I
And
wish
maybe
I wish they had listened and rebooted it way back when, 20,
I,
25 years
I
ago.
thought it I thought it was going to happen after Serenity. To be honest, I thought after Serenity came out that that was going to come back, and nothing came of it.
Yeah, but we were in the era at that time, 2025, I mean, in 2005, already of these companies and these artists hating the fans. We were already in that zone. Now I know
Degenerate
it was a
society.
decade after that where it became super noisy, but they were already in that where they hated the fans, and I think they were insulted that the fans dare ask for something. Shut up, peon, because we've been in that mode for a while, a long while.
Okay.
And I think the 90s, particularly the end of the 90s, is what put them into that mindset. And it just is what it is. But I don't know what to think about this. If it's good, great, because I love Firefly. It just struck me as odd. That's all. You know.
It's pretty strange.
And for a show that didn't give a shit about diversity, it had quite a bit of it.
No, because back then that was fairly standard where you didn't beat you over the fucking head with it.
No, no. Now the funny thing is, I remember Wash's name because of his death in Serenity. Spoilers. But the lady who is Mal's, soldier friend, I can't remember her name. I remember River's name. I don't remember the doctor's name. I don't remember the little engineer's name. I remember Jane. I don't know all their names, even though I've seen every episode at least 3 times. But I don't know. And the little
You'll have
prostitute.
that.
Yeah. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting, and especially this was hilarious when I went here. Yeah, I love that. I just love that, dude. Yeah.
That is
Anyway,
funny.
it is funny. Let's move over here. Go ahead.
Zack Snyder teases what comes next in new Justice League post as March 18th nears.
Now, during this whole process of the who gets Warner Brothers, which we know is a done deal now, Paramount Skydance gets it, and they'll have it
That's right.
wrapped up by this summer. So very quickly. However, the whole period of that fight, which we've covered here, Zack Snyder has played both sides of the fence. He is working for Netflix and he is working for Skydance, and fair enough, and he's of course leaning 100% Skydance now because they won. But the whole time he's been threatening us with his return,
Yeah.
and just on and on and on and on ad nauseum about how we're going to get the Justice League 2. And looks like we are getting it, for better or for worse. However, he's on again about his myth thing. Now, if you haven't paid attention to his stuff, he's all about making these heroes akin to mythological characters. He's really all about putting myth in his story. And I get it. Superheroes are kind of the modern gods, especially DC superheroes. But he really pushes it, and he's full on now, full on. And he's got all this god imagery and all this kind of stuff he's doing. But he put out these posts of the 6 main Justice Leaguers to look toward. They're looking to the future. That's why they're backers to you. Just so you know, it's not very sophisticated philosophy. It just is. So we get Cyborg, of course. We have Diana dressed up a lot. Okay. We have the Batman. We have Superman facing the sun to get a little bit of energy. Aquaman facing the wave, and then what the hell ever that is. A boombox opening, I suppose. Flash.
Yes.
A blurry image of Flash, as it should be. But
Oh God, more Ezra Miller. Please
yeah, I don't know.
don't do it to me.
Will it be though? Because, but the thing is, here's my point. We've been covering this and bemoaning it for a while, but it's what we're getting. It's what we're going to get. We're going to get Zack Snyder.
Listen,
DC Comics. We're getting it.
listen. Everybody can hate it, and I do, but they made money.
They did, and they have a loyal following, a rabid following, I would say. So it is what it is, guys.
Wow,
This is what we're
not
getting.
good movie. They're
They're not. They're
they're
not.
they're up there. I'm just gonna say it. They're almost as bad as Bayformers.
They're
Yeah,
close. They are close. I would
they're
say
in
they're
that
better.
conversation.
They are better, but those are they aren't great. Um,
Yep.
and of course,
Mm,
I'm kind of curious what they're going to do with the cast because the cyborg guy hates white people and hates the company. Hates he's just one of those hater black actors. Uh, um, Gal Gadot is getting older.
She
It,
You
is.
know,
it's
um,
kind of funny how DC and Marvel are in the same exact spot. No, recast every fucking body.
they
That
should
just make
recast.
it simple. It's not even if you're gonna bring this dipshit back, he's at least decent as casting. For some reason, him and James Gunn, they can find people.
They are good with casting. You were right with that. Yeah. um,
Fucking just fucking recast these guys. Um, you already what? Henry was already taken out of his contract years ago. Ben, I don't think he's still under contract.
and he's
Gal
very,
Gadot,
very
like,
frustrated with the situation Ben Affleck is. Yeah.
if she's under contract, does it really fucking matter? Because you already fumbled the bag with her.
You did.
Um,
So yeah, you're right. You got to recast it. Yeah.
you're gonna you're reshuffling shit anyway. Start from fucking scratch. I don't know why they act like this is so fucking difficult, especially considering that the companies you are working for are carrying the attitude that the brand is bigger than any singular person anyway. Well,
Yeah.
let's put that theory to the test once and for all.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. But I just we got to give up the fight on this because Zack Snyder won. We're definitely
I
getting
wish uh, I wish Dwayne McDuffie was still alive.
well.
I believe if Dwayne McDuffie was still alive, that's who should have been over DC and doing this shit
Yeah.
because he did everything else right.
Yep.
That Justice League cartoon that everybody loves,
It's
that was
awesome.
him.
Yeah.
You should have. Could
Yeah.
you
That
Yeah,
imagine
I don't
him?
understand that. I'll never understand why they had this unbelievably successful for years, my whole life, really, this unbelievably successful animated division, right? That's really good.
that's really
Everybody
good. Yeah.
loves. They make really, really good shit. Why didn't they just let those guys do this? Like,
Yeah.
why do they keep bringing in other people when they have these people who clearly know what the fuck, what time it is and how to make this, and yet, nope, we keep bringing in jackoffs who have no business touching it, and then they get all Pikachu faced when it all goes tits up. Well, of course it did.
Well,
You had
speaking
Jackoff doing it.
speaking of that, you know what I think would be a smart play on their part?
Mhm.
Take a breath and first thing you come out with is Teen Titans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or Young Justice League or something like that. And in maybe do a series and take it somewhat seriously, but have fun with it. And in that series, you have cameos from the big boys, and this is how you introduce them little by little. And then come out with your Justice League movie. I really think they need to take a half step measure, is my point. I don't think they will. I think we're just going to get probably not even a recast version, and we're just going to get these old people doing Justice League. Um,
Right.
but I really think they should take a half step measure and do something fun, introduce some characters the average person doesn't know, right? And I would that would be nice. And once again, taking a page out of the animators book because they did it right over and over and over again. Batman the Animated Series, Batman and Superman, Young Justice, Justice League, Green Lantern Corps, Teen Titans before they went Teen Titans Go, which someone needs to be slapped hard for that, right? But I'm just saying that success after success, and that's not even naming any of the movies, which there are many of them, right?
Right.
One of my favorite ones out of that was, of course, Killing Joke was great. That they finally put that to a film or animation. But I also like Batman by Gaslight or Gaslight Batman. Well, I forget what it was called. But
Batman by Gaslight.
yeah, Batman by Gaslight. That was fun, dude. I enjoyed that. Um,
It's good.
so yeah, no, take a page out of their book, man. Those guys are nailed that. They nailed it.
Yeah.
And if you just simply took something like Young Justice, or Teen Titans or something like Teen Titans, I think would be better because it's a little more separated. And
Right.
just follow their script, their original script, boy, it's going to be more young adult teenager product, but that's okay. What's wrong with that?
What? I mean, it's comic books. That's kind of who it should be targeted for.
Yeah, but I don't think so. We're going to get all these people. They're going to pay them all way too much money to come back and be mediocre again. But to be
Yep.
fair,
And mediocre's being generous, but yeah.
yeah, they didn't let Henry do much. Although I did love his presence as Superman.
Oh, he by far he has the best when it comes to presence.
Yeah.
I think he's even better than Christopher was, than Reeves was. But when it comes to overall presentation, when it comes to everything else, I think Reeves is still just untouched. He
Is,
just understood Superman. He just
and
genuinely did.
he did, and I'll have to refute that because just from one scene which I've talked about before. I think it's in the second one. And
Mhm.
they're in Niagara, and they're in the room, and he's has an idea where he's going to tell Lois the truth, and he ends up not doing so. But he's kind of practicing, and he takes his glasses off to tell her, but she's too high strung and not paying attention, right?
No,
Um,
Lois? No,
right.
no.
But his change from Clark to Kal-El, when he takes those glasses off, his entire aura changes. It is
Yes,
such a great demonstration of acting. Just go look up that scene; you'll find it. It's
I know what
really
you're talking
good,
about.
huh?
I know what you're talking about. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah,
What was I going to say? Yes, I agree with you. I think like I said, overall, he was by far and away the best because he did both sides perfectly.
he did.
He knew how to be
He did.
Superman and he knew how to be Clark. He knew that Clark was, he's supposed to be mild mannered. He's not an idiot. He's not stupid. He's just a little feckless. That's okay. Obviously, he's not really because he's Superman, but he played it perfectly. He's
He
not.
did.
He should be the most unthreat. I mean, he's a giant guy, but he should be the most unthreatening man in every room he walks into. That's who
That's
Clark
right,
Kent
and
should be.
that's what he was doing with it. And of course,
Yeah.
Henry didn't really get to play Clark. And of course,
No.
the new boy, I can't, Corn Sweat. I mean, Jesus, fucking change your name, dude. He
The
didn't
other
get a
problem with
chance.
Corn Sweat is he's not handsome.
No, he's not.
He's not ugly, but he's not handsome. Superman's
No.
supposed to be handsome. Damn it!
He is.
I'm not gonna
But
sit here and bitch about the women being ugly and then let them slide in some uggo men either. I want my superheroes to look like Greek gods. Thank you.
yes,
That's what they are.
but he didn't get to play Clark either. So
No, no. Well, we haven't because that's been Clark for the last 20, 30 years. He's not Clark anymore. He's just a normal guy who also is Superman. Like there's no real delineation between his personalities of any note. Like they had that show that came out a few years ago where he was out there beating people up or whatever, or getting in their face, and like Clark doesn't do that. That's the point. Clark isn't like that. And even in the second movie, when he loses his power or he gives his powers up and gets his ass kicked, that wasn't him being Clark. That was him trying to be Superman still, even though he couldn't physically. He physically couldn't do it. He couldn't be that guy. And my point is that we haven't had a Clark Kent in anything that I can think of, whether animated, even the animated series is not, even the movies and stuff. They haven't really done Clark Kent in a very long time. At some point, DC decided that Clark can't just be, a little weak. And weak's the wrong word. He's unassuming. He's unthreatening. He can't be that anymore.
The correct word. Yes, unassuming. Yeah.
He just can't be that anymore for whatever reason. And so every time now when they write him, he's not that anymore. Sometimes he's even charming. I'm like, no, Clark isn't charming. That's the point. He's not charming.
Actually, my favorite portrayal of Clark was not even by Christopher Reeves, although he did a phenomenal job. It's from Steve Reeves back in the black and white
Mm.
serial, which is what the animated series we were just talking about they took from. Because the Superman in
Right.
the animated series is Steve Reeves, 100%, 100%.
Yep.
It's not Christopher Reeves, it's Steve. Unrelated people, by the way. Um,
Yep.
but without question, I prefer that Clark. That is the Clark I like. He's mild mannered. He's not a bumbling fool like Christopher Reeves made him. He's not a
Right.
hothead. He's unassuming because that's the whole point. He's incognito. You see.
Right. You're not
Um,
supposed to look at him. You don't. He
no,
doesn't want you to pay attention to him at all.
he
And
says
everybody has known a guy. Like when I went to high school, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, which is the point. But there was a guy who was very much what Clark should be. He was quiet. He was a tall kid too. He was like 6'5". He was quiet. Maybe he was Superman. He had glasses, and he just he talked in a very soft voice, and he was just there was no threat of anything coming off this young man ever. That's who Clark Kent should feel like. When he walks into a room, you shouldn't feel him. He should have almost negative presence as Clark.
yeah,
And then as
that's true.
Superman, he dominates because he just does. He's not
Well,
trying to. He just does.
I mean, in a weird way, Cal is observing humanity via Clark,
Yeah, he's learning,
right?
studying.
It's kind of like Moon Knight and his taxi driver persona, or Logan and his patch persona, right? They're
Right,
observing humanity. They're melding in. They're not becoming part of society. They're observing society, right?
right,
And that's what Clark does because he is Kal-El. He is not Clark, right?
right.
Whereas the opposite is true for Batman. Batman is Bruce Wayne, right?
Right.
So but anyway, we're getting it, guys. But here's a little refresher and make everybody happy for a second, shall we?
Everybody happy. Street Fighter featurette trailer reveals behind the scenes footage and cast reaction. Look at Cody with the wig on. Look
I
at him.
know.
Ah,
Isn't it great? Playing a video game. Nice.
he's probably playing Street Fighter. Oh,
He
that's
might well be.
hilarious.
This right here is the Japanese dude who is running the whole show. And I don't know what you're doing, you Tojo looking motherfucker. Someone go over and help that guy out with some fashion tips. You spent way too much time on Hollywood, you dumbass. But what's his name here? They gave me his name.
Tojo looking motherfucker.
Well,
Oh, that was good.
am I wrong?
No, you're correct.
Kitao Sakurai Kitao. Yeah, dude, get a
Sakurai.
grip. Get a grip. I need to have a conversation.
He's got a
buddy.
cool name too, Sakurai. That's a good name. What are you dressing like that for? You look like a goof. Stop it.
It's a flower.
It's still a cool name.
It is.
Sounds
It does sound
cool.
My favorite name, given name, not surname. My favorite given name in Japan is Torazo.
That's good.
Torazo.
I like
That's a
that.
good name, but it just means big boy.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Listen,
mean
my name
anything
means
cool.
crown. All right? It just means crown. That's it.
Yeah.
Not intimidating at all.
Yes. Mine is person who dwells within the castle.
Yeah, you live in stone, Chester.
Yeah.
Big stone buildings. That's what you do.
Stone guy. What does your given name mean, Grimlock?
I have no idea. I
Well,
have
what is?
never cared.
I can help you. I am good at etymology. What is your first name?
I am not saying that. Oh,
Really?
yeah. It's just I have a very normal freaking name.
That doesn't mean it doesn't have meaning.
I
Yeah.
know.
All right. I'm just going to go with Benjamin then. And because I have that on the top of my head, and that's just a coat. It's a jacket. Literally,
Yep.
you are a Benjamin.
We're very creative with our names. What are you named after? Just this guy's coat over here. This guy. He
Yeah,
had a coat,
I'm a
and he
Coat.
just decided.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna name my kid Coat. That'll be my kids.
Yeah. Of course, it's coming out of Rachel and Jacob, obviously, and you know, there's
Yes.
a reason for it. But anyway, back to the point here. Instead of trying to dox our guests, fucking Tojo motherfucker. All right. But anyway, so this article is just going on about how everyone's really excited, having a great old time, and we know this. We've been following this for a while, and they are having the time of their life making this, which is so encouraging, right?
Yeah.
But they put a
Yes.
little bit of behind the scenes trailer out here, just talking about what they're doing, and I thought we'd watch it. You want to watch it?
Let's check it out.
I'm sure I'll get struck, but I don't care. Let's go for it. And I'm going to use the volume too. All right. So,
we wanted to officially invite you. Do you accept
Yeah.
a fight?
oh, you look better there. You still got those Tojo glasses.
to honor the characters and to bring them to life in the best way they've ever been brought.
I love how offended you are by those glasses.
制作している、監督はじめみんなそのストリートファイター大好きで、自分たちと同じようなファンでいてくれてるっていう子がすごく安心材料の一個で。
We're all big Street Fighter
Man,
fans.
this movie looks good. It just does.
It looks fun, dude. Yeah.
I was obsessed with Street Fighter. I just hit the button so fast and then see what happens.
Get 50.
Everybody's played Street Fighter. Everybody's played Street
す
Fighter.
ごくスマートに達成してくれてると
There
思
you
って
go.
ます。自分が知ってるストリートファイターはこれだ。
Nakayama knows Street Fighter better than anyone.
Here's the guy who brought us a modern Street Fighter, and he wants to play. Good luck. But it's
That
definitely no fair.
Zangief looks
He
awesome,
knows
doesn't it?
Yep.
It's okay.
Yeah, one more.
Get him, Cody. All right. Yeah, this looks so much fun, dude.
It does.
Yeah. It looks
Ben
great.
16.
And then, oh, yeah. Cammy. The fade. The Polka Dot Man playing Bison is going to be awesome, dude. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Looks like they're gonna let Cammy be a little slutty too, which is good. She should be.
Which is good. Yeah, it is good. And look at Cammy, look at the legs on that girl. I just have to say, this right here, we've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't care. This right here is love of a thing. Love of a thing.
Yes.
Right? And fandom. So Tojo over there, he loves him some Street Fighter. Right?
He's a big fan.
Clearly. Because all the characters look and act as they should. He didn't try to reinterpret it. He didn't try to modernize it for the modern audience. He didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
He's like, this Street Fighter, I love Street Fighter, everybody loves Street Fighter, I'm going to make Street Fighter.
That's right.
You know,
And,
genius.
and lo and behold, it worked out.
Right.
Crazy that.
But do you see Chun-Li, dude? Do you see the legs on that girl? Perfect. Perfect. That girl's beefed out, dude. Yeah, everything looks so good. It looks so good. It looks high energy and fun. I hope it's got some good one-liners in it. Some
Yep.
really quirky, funny little stuff. We know Cody can be funny. I've
Yep.
seen him do it successfully. So, yeah, I don't know. Grimlock, do you care? I mean, you're a wrestling fan. Are you a Street Fighter fan?
I hope it's good. I really do. I'm actually got Street Fighter 6 here at the house. Haven't played it in a while, but I do have it.
Yeah.
I do hope it's good because
Yeah.
God,
Let's say something.
there's been a lack of fun movies.
Yeah,
Yes.
fun and just literally just.
I'm
lean
gonna say
into the
something
fandom,
crazy.
man.
Something I'd never thought I'd say. So, on Netflix, you have the One Piece live adaptation, right? First season was great. They nailed it. They genuinely did. The second season so far is even better. And I haven't watched it all yet. Maybe they're going to curveball me. But so far, they just nailed it. If you can nail One Piece with all its goofy shit and make it work, there's no reason you can't make Street Fighter work unless you're just an idiot.
dude.
None.
This could be, if he's done this, what it looks like. This could become an instant classic.
Yeah.
Instant.
Yeah.
And Elrod, you shit stirrer. He says Cammy has no butt. Hashtag not my Street Fighter. All right, troublemaker. She is acting a little slutty though, as Cammy should be.
That's right.
But yeah, now to be fair, I played a lot more Mortal Kombat than I did Street Fighter, but I certainly played Street Fighter just like everybody
That's
else.
coming too.
Yeah, it is. And of course, that's gotten more love than Street Fighter has over the years. Although Raul Julia as M. Bison, yeah, baby, all day.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That was
brilliant casting.
However, my son loves Street Fighter. Right? He played because I don't those one-on-one fighter games or the arena fighting games. I'm not a big fan. It's not my not my shtick. But my son likes that kind of stuff, and he's pretty good at it. So I've definitely seen and played plenty of modern Street Fighter. And these new games are stylized, but they look great. Although the last one did have a little bit too much wokey in it. But it wasn't as bad as say Mortal Kombat. They've woked up Mortal Kombat to the nth degree, where Street Fighter was just touched with it, brushed with it. But you know, was his name Sakuro? Was that this guy's name?
Sakurai.
Yeah. Good luck to you, dude. Good luck to you. You need a fashion consultant desperately. But you know, and that's not something I normally say. But I'm happy.
He's not looking great.
No, he ain't looking good, dude. I am absolutely elated. It looks fun. I really hope it's just fun. Lady says, but is there a plot? No. God. We don't want no
The last thing we need is that to get a plot to get in the way.
God. No.
People fight in silly kung fu battles. Can I have that, please?
It's kumite. That's it. We don't need no plot. Yeah. We need character. Is what we need.
That's right. Well, you just said it right there. That's the problem with these movies. So many of these movies, the video game adaptations or just the other, like the One Piece thing, what they did right is they didn't try to rewrite. Well, I don't know about this yet. We'll see. They didn't try to rewrite anything. They just gave us they made the characters correct.
Yeah.
They nailed the vibe. That's so important because remember, you're adapting a different form of media, right? As long as you make it feel like the other form, you've won. That's 95% of your battle. If you can get the vibe, you've won. The Super Mario Brothers movie is a perfect example of this. Is it based off of anything that's ever happened in Super Mario Brothers directly? Not really, right? None of the stories of the games or whatever. Loosely, yes, sure, he kidnaps the princess, blah, blah, blah. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But they nailed the vibe of Mario, the whimsy, the fun, the adventure, the brotherhood between Mario and Luigi. They nailed that, and that's why it worked so well. The One Piece anime, live action, they nailed the aesthetic very heavily. They do not shy away from the ridiculousness that is One Piece's look. But they also nailed the vibe of it, right? It just feels right.
That's right. That's what
it's so important.
That's what you gotta do.
And it looks like that's what we've done with Street Fighter, but we don't know till it comes. This could all just be great marketing, for all we know.
It could be. And then we have to take that into account. But I do love the fade on Cody for Guile. Although, in the trailer, one of my favorite little bits is in the actual, they're going to play the real trailer here in a minute. We'll put it again. I love the fact that just the you could tell it's a fan by how they're presenting the characters, right? You have all these guys come in and look at the fade. They just show us the fade, right? That's perfect, right? It's perfect, right? That is fan-made stuff. Now we just have to hope that it's actually good, you know?
Yes.
So, you know, I love that right there. Yeah, get him. Get some.
That was a spinning jackhammer. That spinning jackhammer was pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. Somebody should make that a finishing move in pro wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude. That's pure awesomeness. So hopefully it's good. We just got to keep our fingers crossed. But it looks. The thing that's impressing me the most is how much fun they're having, and that
Yeah.
is always telling, right? And another thing is, have you seen a single leak come out?
No,
No.
nothing.
Another sign that things are going well, right? Because when people are happy and everything's going well, you don't get the leaks. Think about with the MCU for the first decade, right? We never got leaks until the end when we started getting was it Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel and Endgame, and since then we've been getting leaks all the time. But before that, we never got a single a leak, and we even mentioned it on the show. The fact that we never did, right?
Right.
Because people were happy, right? But
Funny
whatever.
that.
Funny that we don't know. Of course, it could be a train wreck, but we can hope. Anyway, I thought I'd before I jump over and take a look at the box office stuff, I thought I would roll through the options I had today that I didn't choose.
Uh
And see if you guys have anything to say or anything that's interesting to you. There's stuff about Grogu, Mandalorian and Grogu, which I don't care anything about. Do you guys?
No.
No, zero interest. First couple seasons were kind of fun, but then they went straight woke and went right into the gutter. So no, thank you. I already mentioned this is a different article, but it's the same thing right there. Zack Snyder doing his thing again. Seems Paramount passed on Max Landis's goofy GI Joe pitch, although they bit on two. We have a live action coming and an animated, so Um, I cannot tell you how much I don't care about Buffy. Uh, yes, and they canceled the reboot at Hulu. All right, good, because Buffy sucked. Buffy was the beginning, in my opinion, of bad TV. Bad TV. I
Not a
mean,
fan.
no, because it's so stupid. It's so inane. It doesn't make any sense. It's what the CW became. Right? It's what the CW. It's just lame, half-ass. Oh, we're making it for kids, therefore it needs to be stupid. Really, really. Why don't you go back and watch Leave It to Beaver, shall you? And tell me how stupid that was. Right?
I'm sure they'd find fault somewhere. Don't
Oh
don't
yeah,
worry.
it's too wholesome. How dare it even, right?
That's right.
But I mean, I don't never understood why Buffy was such a big hit, but it's where we've gone. It's the direction we went. Dumb, inane crap, and people sucking it up and just loving on it. Buffy was so freaking bad. The movie was fun, but the movie was a parody. A parody. You don't take a fucking parody and make it real, dumbass.
Well, Joss is the one who did it. He did it to himself.
Well, Josh Whedon
He
is a problem, right?
he's a living parody. All right, he's a human parody. Joss Whedon.
Grimlock, you're not going to come at me for disrespecting your most favorite show of all time?
I never watched Buffy, so
Good man. That's what I want
That's
to hear.
right.
I know
Yeah.
Thundero did. I know he loved him.
I not really. I watched a couple episodes of it, but I did watch Angel. I liked Angel, but I didn't like Buffy.
I did
Buffy
see a
was
couple
way
episodes of
too.
Angel. It was better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was better.
And the ending to Angel was well. The last episode was fine, but the last season was terrible. But other than that,
I watched
yeah. What's that?
I watched the original movie, but that was about it.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
original movie
yeah,
was fun, but it
100%.
was tongue in cheek. It was a parody, right? And they went and decided, well,
Mhm.
let's take this parody and make a real serious kind of show about it, and just have bad acting and silliness everywhere. But it got Buffy was so bad, and Sarah Michelle Gellar, this lady. Now I understand she is supposed to be possessed of magical ability. Okay, fine, right? Therefore, she can do
Mhm.
the things she does. I have no problem with that. But this girl cannot sell action to save her damn life. You need someone who can sell the action. Like Charlize Theron. I can't stand her. She's a horrible human being. She loves to
Yep.
take children and turn them into girls or boys or the opposite of what they were born. She's one of those disgusting human beings, like Megan
Mhm.
Fox, right? Disgusting. However, that lady can sell action, even though she ain't kicking
Yep.
nobody's ass in reality, but she could sell it, which was one of the reasons why I was so frustrated with Furiosa, because I thought we were going to get some badassery because she can do that, but no, that's not the direction they went with that character. Oh my god! Um, but anyway, this show was so bad. Thank God it's not getting any more love. Just shut it down, make it non-exist. All right. Don't care about this either. You guys care about Spider-Man?
No.
Nope. I wanted to, and then I heard what was going to be in this new Spider-Man, and now I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Because they're again going right back to shenanigans when they could have just did a nice
Fresh start.
street level Spider-Man story about him fighting the organized crime in the city. I would have loved that. That to me has always been my favorite Spider-Man. When he gets all weird and out here with the mysticism and the cosmic and the what have you, that's where you lose me.
Yeah.
That's where you
Nope.
lose me.
Should have done something normal, and of course we're getting Zendaya back, even though they had a chance
Yep.
to do a fresh, clean wipe.
Clean break. Well, because that's his wife, so he's not gonna. I'm sure he made sure she got paid.
Yeah, well, whatever, nepotism aside. This is interesting because we did have a comic book panel in a recent version of Superman, which I'm not a fan of, but nevertheless, it's showing a direct homage to Henry Cavill in the movie, which is kind of cool, I guess. We get another clip. I mean, he took a lot of photographs and they did a lot of filming that did not make it in that movie, boy. I'm telling you what.
Mhm.
And here we have Gal Gadot wearing the Batman gloves for some reason. Um, I don't know. We don't need to talk about that. Kevin Feige says Marvel ignores internet noise, meaning what the fans want, and therefore we rely on test screenings. But yet your test screenings always suck bad, but you go forward with it anyway, Kevin.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit. Look, I've never. There's not many companies, and a lot of companies for some reason do this. I don't know why it's a business practice to hate the people who are making you filthy fucking rich. But nigga, you are fucking lying when you say that if you did the test screening, you did the test screening for Captain America: Brave New World, and you released that shit anyway.
Yep.
yeah,
100%.
For,
100%.
for saying that out loud, you should be fired on the spot
Yeah, I know,
just for
and
that.
they just keep lying over and over. And why is She-Hulk wearing a "I Love Mexico" shirt? She's not Mexican.
Listen, now you're asking questions again, Chet. We got to get you off this question kick, all right?
All right.
It's not good for you. It's not good for anybody.
Well, I just find it funny that you mentioned this because I know you don't because you actually have a life. You haven't been following social media. It has been the 20th anniversary of one of the most despised stories in the history of Marvel. One More Day, and
Oh, yeah.
everybody's favorite.
Oh, don't even. Don't. Oh, God.
No, everybody's favorite asshat, Joe Quesada, had to bring his dick sucker back into the game by
He had
still
opinions.
defending. Like, dude,
That's one
it's
of
been
those
20
moments
years.
in comics that'll never be forgiven, though. I don't even want to think
Not
about it.
only it's 20 years, he still refuses to admit that it was a bad idea, and that it cut Spider-Man's reader base in half. They didn't come back. You can look at the
No,
numbers.
no.
You can say what they want. I have never seen a company more dedicated and determined to destroy its flagship franchise than Marvel in destroying Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I said it myself that I am so glad I had already given up comic books before that happened, because if that had come out while I was still madly in love with Spider-Man and reading him every week, I don't know, man. I might have lost my fucking mind. Actually, like it wouldn't have been good.
Yeah. And that's true, Mabel. Christy Swanson in the Buffy movie was great. She was great.
Well, yeah,
Um,
Christy Swanson was hot as fuck. So
she
you
was.
know.
Now, this right here I didn't cover because I'm kind of waiting for the end result with this, really. However, The test screenings for Supergirl are not going well, and this is not the first series of test screening that they've had trouble with. This is the most current ones. It's a short movie, only an hour and 45 minutes, which is good. But it's not doing well. We don't know exactly why it's not doing well, but it's not. And then, of course, it doesn't help that this girl, Miley Alcock, this Australian girl who's clearly mixed Aboriginal, it's weird. She has some angles where she's kind of cute, and in other animals where she looks like a chimpanzee. So
Well, her last name is Alcock, so I'm good.
fair
I'm
enough.
all right.
But
Yeah.
however, Supergirl tells young girls it's okay to be bad and messy. Really? And
No, it
that's a
isn't.
good message? That's
Yeah, no, it
okay?
isn't.
That's what you want to teach young girls? Go out
That's
and be
what
a
they've been
drunk
teaching 'em.
whore? That's what you
Yep.
want?
That's what they've been teaching them, Chester, for years now.
But whatever. This is a train wreck waiting to happen. It looks like, because some people when they saw the trailer were a little bit enthusiastic, positive about it because it looked good, just like Street Fighter. But the behind the scenes stuff we're hearing is not great. Whereas Street Fighter, we're hearing nothing but good. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. But you had that. So this is just standard news. Pete Hegseth wants David Ellison in charge as soon as possible, which they're working on doing. Single white female, a movie I've heard about but never watched, is dropping the white and just doing single female. Genius. I do believe that was a joke. And that was the point about the single white female. And now you're just making a serious movie about a girl who can't get a date with Jenna Ortega, and it's going to be lesbian, clearly. Nice. Wonder Man, I don't know. Well, I'll just leave that in the air, shall we? And that's why I didn't cover it, because we'll have to wait and see. We got the Maximum Collection coming out. Super Mario Galaxy movie opening estimated eyes 160 plus million over Easter. So it's coming. We got another Mario movie, Galaxy, coming very soon. And honestly,
Galaxy.
well, my kids played that and they enjoyed it. It was kind of cute.
Yeah.
But if they keep the same feel that they had for the first movie, dude, they're gonna make money.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, another $1 billion box office for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I watch it. It's not for me. It's a kids thing. However,
Yeah.
because I don't have kids around to watch it with, right? However, it was in the spirit of Mario, and it
Yeah,
was
felt
and
like
that was
Mario.
wonderful. Yeah. She does look suspiciously like Will Poulter. I agree with you, Booster. Wow. So I guess Australian women are off the books for you.
I mean, if their last name is Alcock, yeah, I'm good. That's a bad omen right there.
Booster calls it. He says we need Danny DeVito as Wario. Yeah, that would be great.
We do. Yeah. Just in general, as a life choice, we need that. Yeah.
Well, let him be a nasty taxi guy again. It would be hilarious.
That's Wario. Yeah, it's pretty much him.
Yeah.
He's just a bit of a scumbag.
And just more stuff about bringing the gang back together. We already covered. But yeah. So other than the lesbian single white female, which I don't even care about single white female, and the new Mario movie, which should be just fine. I mean, it should be. Just do what you did before. I mean, don't mess with it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else here that was that interesting. Like I said, this right here, we got to wait and see what's going on with the Supergirl because it's all over the place, dude. The information is coming out. The test screenings have been bad since the beginning, but yet there's a lot of hype for it. I don't know. It's all over the place. We'll have to see. And now this dumbass girl coming out and saying a dumbass thing. Why don't I mean? These PR people either have zero control or it's their intention, right? Either way, it's bad, right? Do you think that these studios really have that little control over their actors? Do you think that's true?
No, not at all. 100% they don't. We know for a fact they don't because if you remember what happened when one of them decided what she was saying was it was genuinely a problem, she shut the fuck up real quick. because they have it in every one of their contracts that they can't endanger the movie,
Right.
whether it's through morality clauses or just being a retard and saying retard shit. So they shut the fuck up because, yeah, of course they do. You have a multi-million-dollar movie, multi-billion-dollar in some cases, or franchise, and you're gonna fuck it up because you can't shut your cocksucker?
Yeah,
No, just shut your
way.
cocksucker.
No way. And we didn't cover it last week, and of course I think there was a little bit more this week. Rachel Zegler, yeah, I know that girl. She's still on her thing, dude. She ain't backing up. Yeah, I got to give her
Of
credit for
course not.
that. She ain't backing up at all. She is so much better than you. She is so much
Yeah.
more virtuous than you. She's just a better human, you see.
Listen, I'm
and
okay with that.
yeah, yeah. So
I'm
that's that.
okay with it.
Let me go over here, and I thought we would take a look at real quick before I go over and take a look at the home box office. I thought we would take a look at over the years, the past 6 years, and because the Oscars is going on as we've done this show, right? And to see how horrible the past decade has been under Hollywood's new regime. I thought we'd
Horrible.
look at the winners of the Oscars for the past 5 years, shall we? Or 6 years, I
Oh
guess.
boy.
So let's see here. 2020, let's see. We had No Man Land is the winner.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Nope.
Anybody? Now the father is Anthony Hopkins, and he won Best Actor for that. It's about a dad who has dementia, and sounds like he did a good job. Judas and Black Messiah, okay. Mank, all right. Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. Well, I know the story of the Chicago 7, but do you guys know any of these movies? Any of these movies?
No.
No clue. I know the father, and that's about it. As far as Best Animated, Soul won, which is, from what I've heard of the reviews, it's one of the worst Disney movies ever made. So,
Yeah.
but it won. Okay. Onward, Over the Moon, Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon, which I did see, and it was great, and Wolfwalkers. So, so far, I've seen two things that I actually know, and well, three Soul. I guess I know of it, but only one that I've seen, and that's Farmageddon,
Right.
of course, Shaun the Sheep. And it's got other information. I just want to look at the movies, though. So, 2021, Coda won Best Picture. Ever hear of it?
Coda.
Ever hear of it?
I've heard of it, but I have absolutely no idea what it is.
No. And the other movies in contention were Belfast, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, which I do know of, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story, which was thoroughly trounced. So
Yes.
once again, looking at the Oscars recently, now we know the Oscars is a bit hoity-toity, bit snobbish, and they never give love to the things that actually are popular and make money. We know this, but usually they do have movies that are genuinely pretty good, though. But
Yeah.
I don't know any of these movies, guys. And I saw Dune, and I prefer the original much more than the Villeneuve one. But whatever. And then that's the year the Encanto won. And once again, it's another Disney Pixar movie. And if you go look at the actual storyline of what they're doing in Encanto, it's pretty dark and disgusting, actually. Then we had other nominees: Flea, Luca, the Mitchells versus the Machines, which I've heard of, and Raya and the Last Dragon, which I might have seen. Maybe.
Yeah.
And Will Smith is in King Richard. What the hell is Will Smith? All right, fine. 2022, Everything Everywhere All at
Here you go.
Once.
It
which
gets a
you
little
guys
better
love.
here. 2022 was a pretty good year for movies. Let's be honest.
I hated I couldn't get past 10, 15 minutes in that movie. My wife and I both were like, God, this sucks. The problem is we understand Chinese, right?
Yeah,
You
Mandarin.
don't. And it was bad. We couldn't even stand it. We had to shut it down. We shut it off because you guys kept saying it was great, so we're going to go watch it. And we're like, oh my god, this sucks. All Quiet on the Western Front, pretty fair attempt there. Of what they
Yeah.
did with that. Avatar, The Way of Water, once again, didn't watch it. The Banshees of what is this? Inisherin. Elvis, I saw that.
The
It was pretty
Elvis
good.
movie.
It was pretty good.
I hear that's good. Yeah.
Fablemans,
I don't know
Top
that.
Gun Maverick, boom, banging. That should have won.
Maverick. Absolutely.
But they didn't have
Well,
enough
Puss
gay
in
in
Boots:
it.
The Last Wish is on there too, though. That's a feature. That's
Well, that's
animated.
animated.
But yeah, no, Maverick should have won that year, in my opinion. In my humble opinion.
Well, the reason Everything Everywhere All at Once won because it's full of lesbianism. That's why.
Well, you got some lesbianism, and you got a bunch of non-white people as the main characters.
Yeah.
So therefore, big points.
Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's won. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I disagree wholeheartedly. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is one of the best animated movies ever made in the last 100 years.
I heard it was good. I did hear that.
It's phenomenal, Chester. You would love it.
Yeah, I should watch it. But the Pinocchio one was really good. I enjoyed it. It's much better than that Tom Hanks crap they put out.
Yeah.
And Turning Red,
And
of course.
I like that Pinocchio movie, but the Puss in Boots is better. It's just better. It's just a better film from beginning to end.
So Disney's entry for this year via Pixar, of course, Turning Red, is all about a girl getting her period.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they're surprised
Disney.
it didn't hit with the peoples. Interesting.
Thanks so much, Disney.
Yeah.
Thanks for your contributions.
Yeah. So Oppenheimer here won, which I understand is an extremely bored and weird movie. Boring and weird.
Never seen it. I have heard it's amazing, but I've also heard it's very boring. So
I've heard mostly negative about Oppenheimer. I haven't heard a lot of good stuff about it.
Yeah.
Mostly it's people like that was weird. Too much sex in it for a scientist movie. But all right, fine. I haven't seen it.
The only movie on this list here that I've even seen is Barbie, so I'm giving it to Barbie because Ryan Gosling as Ken is great, and he won the Oscar that year for best actor, lead male, or whatever thing he was in. He won it because, of course, he did, because he was great.
Right. Let's see. Is there anything else here? We recognize Killer of the Flower Moons that didn't hit like they wanted it to. I know that. Poor Things, just an opportunity for Hollywood to do weird sex shit. The whole concept of Poor Things is weird. An unborn child's brain is put in, but it's a Frankenstein story. But a woman dies. The scientist loves her. So she was pregnant. He saved the baby, but he took the brain out of the baby, put it in the mother's body, and they just proceed to fuck it in any possible way they can think of. I'm not shitting you. That is the movie, and this is a Mark Ruffalo movie he's so proud of. All right? Now, Willem Dafoe's in that, but we know Willem is Willem. But that's the concept of that movie. Think about this. What are they telling you? A child's brain is put into a woman's body, and they proceed to fuck it in every way they can. That's the movie.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
They're screaming it at you, Chester. That's what they're doing.
Bastards. The Boy and the Heron, I think it's a Chinese story. Or maybe it's Japanese. I think it's Chinese. Disney's Offer Elemental didn't really hit.
No, The Boy and the Heron is in that's not Studio Ghibli?
Is it Ghibli? Okay, so it's
Japanese. I think so. Ghibli, whatever it is. Yeah,
that's
I think
an old Asian fable, is what it's based on. So Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, didn't watch it, although some people did like it. 2024, Anora. Oh, the one about the prostitute. Oh yeah.
Let's see. Do I know any of these movies? Nope. Oh well, I saw Wicked. I saw that with the wife, and Dune Part 2. Obviously, I saw that too.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got Anora, it's literally about a prostitute. You got Brutalist, which is literally about a gay, brutal sex movie, is what it is.
Excellent.
I don't know these other things. Emily Perez is about transgenders, literally. The Substance was a pretty good body horror. I'm surprised it was nominated at all. But it's all female cast, so that's probably why. And of course, Wicked, which did make money. Flow, never even heard of it. Inside Out 2, didn't get it. Disney's been losing recently. Interesting. And then, of course, this year. And
Well,
we
last
don't.
year.
No, well, yeah, but I mean, it's the ceremony is taking place right now, right?
Yes, I know.
So these are nominated. We don't know the winners, although it's probably going to be Begonia because yay girl. But the F1 was
Sinners is on there, bud. Come on,
I
calm
don't think
down. They're
so.
gonna they're
I
gonna
don't think so.
they're gonna hand it to the black folks if they can. You know it.
They might. They might. But F1 is the best movie I saw last year, without question.
Well, you know what's
Frankenstein,
crazy? I haven't seen a single one of any of these movies.
right? Really.
Not one of them.
Sinners
Yep.
was fine, but it's not that great a movie, dude. It's fine.
No, of course it's
good.
the Black Panther syndrome all over again, bro. It's a bunch of black people there for the most amazing thing that's ever been made ever.
Yeah. But what do you got here? You got this weird, small cast in a single room, really, with Begonia, and trying to say that it's the most amazing actor thing ever. F1, solid, really good racing movie. If you like car racing movies, it's top notch. Frankenstein, it's my favorite version of the story so far. Hamnet, we remember we looked it up and we were like, ew. Marty Supreme is that manlit Timothée Chalamet in a pink
His name's
Paramount movie.
Timothy.
Yeah. One
It's
battle
just
after
spelled
another
gay.
is Trump's bad. Yay, Antifa is great. It's a literally pro Antifa movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. I shit you not.
Yeah.
Secret Agent. I think I saw my wife watching that. Sinners, which was fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good, solid little popcorn horror movie. But it ain't all that. It shouldn't be an Oscar nominated. And I don't know these other ones. Arco, never heard
Now,
of it.
the animated movies here are interesting. Zootopia is probably going to win because it
should win.
probably should. But K-pop Demon Hunters is genuinely a good film. I shouldn't like it, especially with that title, but they did a really good job. And the fact that it's a Korean, I think it was made in Korea, South Korean company with it's definitely not the budget that Zootopia had. Come on, let's not get crazy.
No, of course, Pixar.
And they did that good of a job just telling a nice story about three girls. They're a K-pop band who also hunt demons, of course, because of course they
they're
do.
demon hunters, yeah.
Yeah, in fact, yeah.
Gem and the
It's
holograms
just
all over again is what it is.
it kind of is. It's kind of like a modern version, but better. Chester, unironically, I think you'd like it. I think you'd appreciate it. Not that it's gonna, you're not gonna be singing the songs or whatever, but I think you'd appreciate the fact that they pulled off such a film with such high quality, with probably a shoestring budget, if we're being honest.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Elio didn't make any money. Zootopia did. Now, I think Elio is technically the Pixar one, and Zootopia might be just Walt Disney Studios. Maybe.
Could
Although
be.
you can't tell me Pixar didn't have a hand in it, though. I mean, maybe not, but I'd be surprised. Yeah, so I don't know. These are the ones nominated, and as like I said, if you guys go and search, you probably know who won by now. But because I imagine it. What time is it for you guys?
It is
11.
11:10.
Yeah, no, they must know by now. It must be over by now, right?
Here we go. Let's see. I'll look at it. I'll look at the hashtag on the Twitter machine. Da-da-da-da.
Because March 15th, which is today for you guys.
Yep. Let's see.
Well, while he looks at that, I did bring up the coming soon stuff real quick, just to see if there's anything interesting. Pizza movie. Looks like drugs are involved there. Dragon from Screambox. It's gonna be a very low budget horror movie. Let's see. Dangerous Truth. Malcolm in the Middle, Life Still Unfair. So they're not rebooting, but they're continuing the story of Malcolm in the Middle as an adult. I don't know. You guys think that'll work? My wife loved that show, by the way.
We'll see. I doubt it.
What do you think, Grimlock?
I don't know.
The Bunny Lover.
I,
That sounds wonderful. What are you
All right, I'm
laughing
just gonna
about?
look up a list. What you said. I'm just gonna look up a list.
Well,
A
it must
list.
be
A
over
list.
by now. I mean, I imagine it ended at 11. Although you're in Central Time, so maybe it's still going on.
No, I'm not in Central Time. I'm in Eastern Time.
Oh, you are? Okay. Well, yeah, it should be done. Should have been done at 11, you would think.
All right, 12 minutes ago, the Hollywood Reporter. Here we go. Full list of the. I don't need this long diatribe. Just give me a list, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
All right.
All right, here we go. Best Picture. Wow. They didn't go with the woman movie or the black movie. They went with the Antifa movie. What a surprise. The communists support the communists.
Of course.
Best Director, again, the Antifa movie. Yep.
Of course. A movie no one
Michael
watched
B.
and was trounced completely.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor because of Sinners, because they had to get one black in there. They couldn't help themselves.
Right.
The chick that was the star of Hamnet, or the lead chick, won hers. She won Best Actress.
Okay.
Supporting actor Sean Penn, again the Antifa movie. Let's see. Best Supporting Actress was Amy Madigan in Weapons. I think she plays the bad guy.
The old lady, yeah.
Yeah, the old lady. Best Adapted Screenplay, again the Antifa movie.
Of course.
Let's see. Best Original Screenplay was the Black movie. Best Animated Feature. Oh my gosh, K-pop Demon Hunters actually did win. Well, what a surprise! That is actually surprising.
Well, it's all girls.
Best International.
So
Nobody cares. Best Documentary Feature. Mr. Nobody Against Putin.
Yeah, no.
Right.
So you
okay.
know. Typical crap. All right.
So how many? So far I have, I think, 4 for the Antifa movie, because of course, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Just get out of here. Everybody sees. Oh no, there's 5. Everybody sees right fucking through you. Yeah. It's so ridiculous.
And keep in mind, even though it's got Leonardo and big names and stuff behind it, One Battle After Another is literally a bunch of heroic Antifa fighting against the evil Trump. It's literally what it is. I'm not even joking. There's no exaggeration.
The main song from K-pop Demon Hunters won Best Song. That's pretty cool.
I don't know. I saw a clip from it. It looks super gay to me.
Well, yeah, it's for girls, Chester. But I promise you, if you watched it, especially if you watch it with your wife, you'll like it.
Yeah. Pigs fly, hell freezes over, buddy.
If your wife said, "I want to watch this with me, baby," you'd watch it with her.
No, I'd throw heavy objects later. Yeah, no, and she doesn't ask my opinion. She just puts stuff on and it's on in the room.
And there it is. Now this is happening
or something. But because usually I'm working on something. And then because she watches TV way more than I do, right?
Apparently, yeah, that's usually. I mean, I basically never watch TV. My wife's always watching it. And I'll put this in the general chat. They put out a new trailer for Avengers Doomsday at the Oscars.
Ew.
They revealed that.
Yeah.
You want to play it?
No, I don't want to play it. Do I have to? You don't have to.
You don't have to do anything, Chester. Nobody's making you do anything.
Let me see if I can I bring this over? I guess I can. There we go. All right, fine. I'm playing it. It's being played.
I live at 308 Negra Arroyo Lane.
Wait a minute. This is not the right thing. Wait a minute. This video is wrong.
Do you know
Hang on.
how much I make?
The video is here.
I mean, even if I told you, you wouldn't believe it.
This is Breaking Bad. What happened here?
That is Breaking Bad. You're right. Someone's trolling. But that's okay, though. Because that movie is in such consternation. And the problem is that recently Hollywood has been doing a thing that doesn't make any sense. It's illogical. Now, I know. Stop. I can hear you yelling at me. But the logic is the fact that they start shooting stuff and literally doing their job without a script. They still don't have a script for that movie.
It's pretty strange.
But they've been doing this recently, dude. It's weird. Okay.
Pretty strange.
Let's see here. Hoppers. We were kind of surprised last week it made some money. A little bit of money. It doesn't look like it did hardly anything. But I don't think it's made its budget back, to be honest with you. Reminders of him. After prison, a woman attempts to reconnect with her young daughter, but faces resistance from everyone except a bar owner who with ties to her child. As they grow closer, she must confront her past mistakes to build a hopeful future. So why is it reminders of him then? Because it's about a woman and her daughter. To be fair, Universal Pictures, and it made 14 million in pocket. I doubt it's got its budget back yet, but that's actually way more than I would expect for such a movie. Really.
Yeah.
So good on them, I guess. Undertoned horror movie. Also, a popular paranormal podcast becomes haunted by terrifying recordings mysteriously sent her way. Yeah, it's just a little horror movie from A24. Although we have learned over the years, A24 does put out pretty good quality stuff, though. As far as make a real movie, right? This bride, what a Titanic bomb this is. This is like this could be 150, 200 million dollars in the hole, dude. I
Yeah.
went and checked out why, because remember last week I saw it was doing really badly, and I saw a lot of headlines that were negative about it, but I didn't know why. So I went and researched it this week to figure out why. Holy crap! This is Jake Gyllenhaal's sister. Is it? I
Yes,
think it
Maggie.
is. Maggie Gyllenhaal and Christian Bale, and this is a hardcore, and I do mean hardcore feminist message movie. Hardcore. And they wonder why everyone hates it. Haven't they learned that even women don't want to acknowledge that they're feminist? Don't they see that people don't like your messaging? Clearly not. And they spend a big chunk of money on this too, way more than they should. And of course, way more than it's worth. And we know why they're doing this, moving money around. But this is a mega bomb, and it's being hated by everybody. Even John Campea over at Collider hates it. John Campea, the woke crusader, right? Hates it. And they just don't get it. I mean, wokeness is different, but feminism, people hate feminism, dude. Especially women. Women can't stand feminism.
Well,
Right?
one of the great lies of feminism is that it's anything but a small minority of angry, ugly women.
They are.
Because that's what.
Hateful. Yeah. A
Because
bunch
let's
of
be honest,
angry
I
lesbians.
don't care what anybody says about Maggie Gyllenhaal. Looks like the nurse from the Twilight Zone, the Eye of the Beholder episode.
She doesn't have a face in that one, just so you know. Yeah.
Well, if you remember the Eye of the Beholder, you know exactly what I'm talking about. No, most feminists. I forgot who's the first person to say it. That feminism was a way for ugly and fat chicks to level the playing field. These are women who hate that they can't get what they want out of life. They think that they're entitled to whatever it is they think they are owed in life. Because we have taught so many people this idea that they deserve something in life.
Dude,
You deserve
holy
what you
shit.
earn.
You're right. She does look like that. Holy shit, dude. She literally looks like the pig lady. Holy shit, dude.
I want you to remember that she's so beautiful. She's so beautiful, Chester. So beautiful that not only was Batman, but Harvey Dent were both in love with her at the same time.
That's one of the main things that took me out. This very unattractive woman being chased and hunted for what?
by these two absolute chads, one of which is a billionaire. What are we doing? Who's banging ballerinas as a hobby? What are we doing?
And boy, they put a lot of makeup on her, man. Holy crap. They put so much makeup on her. But this is why it failed so badly, is because it's just feminist propaganda. It is what it is. So, but
Hateful, entitled, ugly bitches
yep.
that are mad at the world because they can't get what they want and they think that they deserve something.
Yep.
And no, you don't deserve shit. She's mad that her brother's hotter than her. That's one. She's mad that people use her to get to him. She's she's mad that she thinks herself some sort of genius and she's not.
Oh yeah, no, she is noisy. She's not as bad as that Fleabag lady they keep letting destroy shit. But
No, they're all bad. They're all bad. They're all. I'm put it this way: when it comes to this, there's no need of playing levels with them. They're all the same.
yeah,
It,
yeah.
there's they're all ridiculous. They poison everything that they touch. They're worse. It's easier to stare into the gaze of Medusa than it is to look a feminist in the eye and take her seriously.
Yep. Yep. This is the re-release just to grab some cash, and they grabbed a little bit with Kiki's Delivery Service. This is Miyazaki, of course, with Studio Ghibli. Very popular. Of course, she's got her black little witch going out in the world to make her way. She got her little cat Gigi, which Gigi just means grandpa, by the way. Yeah, it's a wonderful little Miyazaki Ghibli movie. If you haven't seen it, you should. Kiki's great. It's just one of those wonderful early Ghibli things. Let's see here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze re-release. A lot of releases. Made about the same amount of money. Not a lot of theaters though. Slanted. Is this about Koreans? Okay. Yeah, it is. Chinese. Perfect. Yep. Insecure Chinese American teenager undergoes experimental surgery to appear white, hoping to secure the prom queen title and peer acceptance. So, weird little horror movie. Okay. Didn't make any money. That's it. Not many movies open this week, huh?
No.
But that's all right. We're all waiting for Street Fighter. And and those families out there of Mario coming on Easter, which of course is very soon, next month. I'm sure they'll have a fun time with that. Anyway, that's what I got.
That's it. That's all he's got. He ain't got no more.
That's right. And Maple Chic makes a very good point. She's just mad because her brother is prettier than her. And it's probably true.
He is a much prettier man. I mean, he's not exactly, Chad Thundercock himself, but he's better looking than her. That's for sure.
She's an ugly woman, always has been.
He's also keeps himself in really good shape. He's jacked. That helps a lot on his attractiveness scale.
But yeah, putting her in Batman, with Christopher Nolan didn't make any sense because, all right, she's not attractive at all. She's actually unattractive. So therefore, to make these powerful, successful men so interested in her, you must make her something on the other side. Super intelligent, super successful, super something. But she's just kind of a useless idiot in the whole movie. She doesn't.
As though men care about women's success.
What do you say?
As though men care about women's success.
No, they don't. But you know what I mean as far as storytelling. You got to give us something. Yeah, she ain't got nothing. She the whole movie. Every time she popped up, I was like, why?
She would have been. She would have. You know what? You know what she would have been better as, and it would have actually fit if they'd have done it. If they'd have now, she still wouldn't have looked as good as this character, but she would have been a better Poison Ivy, where she was using chemicals to seduce those two into getting what she wants because Pamela Isley up until recently, has always been a selfish, narcissistic person.
Oh yeah, and she's not
Which
necessarily
puts them
beautiful
all.
either.
Well, she was at one point, but they have uglied the fuck out of her.
Yeah, no, they have.
Um,
Of course, they've ruined the comics characters. But yeah, no, that would make more sense. It would make a lot more sense. But those movies, I can't stand the Nolan movies. I do like
they
what
don't. They didn't
Heath
age
Ledger
well.
did. I appreciate it. But mostly, I don't like those movies.
They did not age.
No, because they're not good. They're just not good. Now, to be fair, he's like, oh, just enjoy the Batman action. Sure enough, fair enough. But if we go back and look at the Michael Keaton stuff, he had women in his life in the movie, and what were they? Drop dead gorgeous,
Yeah.
Well,
right?
let's be fair. So did the other Bruce. So what's his
They
name?
Val Kilmer,
What's his name?
George
No,
Clooney,
the Nolan's Bruce. I can't think of his name.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. He had beautiful women too. If you remember, he had whole ballerinas team, like the Russian
Yeah,
national
but
ballerina
those
team.
weren't women; they were ideals.
No, he was fucking them. What are we talking about? Of course he was.
Yeah, but that's not my point. Was she was supposed to be the love interest? She was the ultimate love interest, right?
Yeah, but well, remember in the first movie it was Katie Holmes, which is not. She's a lot better than fucking Maggie Gyllenhaal. That's for damn sure. Not that she's necessarily a knockout herself, but she's definitely better than that bitch.
Yeah, she's.
But regardless,
yeah.
No, I agree with you. That it was the start of the let's have ugly women in everything bullshit. It was starting around that time.
It was, yeah. But anyway,
no beauty. You're not beauty, Chester. Get it out of here. We don't want to see it.
The damn male gaze. Grimlock, you got anything to say to end the show?
Yes, go USA. We're in the finals of the World Baseball Classic.
Which is an obnoxious thing to even have to say. How is that ever not always the case? It's insulting.
What are you talking about?
Shit.
America?
Yeah, in baseball.
Oh, the World Baseball Classic, a thing they made up a little while ago that no one really pays attention to still? That thing?
Yes.
Oh, no, a lot of people do pay attention. The whole nation of Japan is upset today.
Why?
Because they was the defending champions and the overwhelming favorites, and they lost to Venezuela last night.
Venezuela?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, good. I get to pick on them this week. Thank you for that information.
And you lost to Venezuela? Oh no!
Venezuela has a good team,
Venezuela. Ha!
I'll put it this way: Venezuela against any other team, you would have picked Venezuela as the favorite, but against Japan's team, no. And Japan, surprisingly, they kind of buckled under the pressure late in the game.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll be innocent about it, and I'll say, "Oh, you guys mentioned the World Baseball Classic last week. How you doing? How's it going?"
Here's something that'll make you feel even better. For the third time in less than 30 days, the United States kicked Canada's ass.
That's right. Get out of here.
Be. Well, baseball, we're going to beat them anyway, you would think, most of the time. Hockey, they do dominate us usually, though. Although we've been kicking their butt recently in hockey.
It's their sport. They better. That's why it's offensive to me that we're not dominating the baseball one. What are we doing? Yeah. If anybody else played American-style football, it would be a bloodbath.
Yeah, well, I really wish that football had caught on worldwide. And the main reason it didn't is because of the cost. You see, if you want to play
expensive.
Soccer, you need a ball, and that's about it.
Also, most athletes around the world aren't brutal enough. They're just not. Most international athletes, besides like powerlifters or whatever, are thinner. They have what we call an athletic build, whereas football players are fucking tanks, right?
Yeah,
these are beasts.
Have to be.
Yeah, these are hyper males. These aren't even alpha males. These are hyper males physically. That's what a pro football player is. They're outrageous how athletic they are.
And they're huge. I'm small compared to a lot of them.
Yes.
And another issue you have is the world loves to find any reason to hate on America. And one of the things
Yeah.
they love to hate on is football. They love mocking it. They love it. I have been
Uh-huh.
to so many countries, and every country I've been to, they always ask the same damn questions. And amongst one of them is how much football sucks. It's shocking.
Well, that's there you go. Is that a question or?
Well, yeah. Why do you play football? It's so stupid. I mean, I've been all over the world. And I'm not joking. They always bring that up. They love to mock football, even though they don't understand.
And I'll say it right to them. I'll say it right to anyone. It's the only major team sport that even exists. Period.
It really
Every other sport, one man can completely dominate. Like if you get a great pitcher, he can shut down the other team completely. If you get a great basketball player, I mean, look what LeBron does sometimes. He just shuts them down. He just dominates both sides of the ball. Michael Jordan would do it too. You're not doing that in football. It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's just not possible.
Yeah.
It's the only actual team sport at that level. Maybe hockey. You could say hockey, but then you could have a goalie who's out there being superhuman. And it's just, what are you supposed to do?
That's true. Well, and football also has another factor. I mean, all team sports have some strategy involved, but
Yes.
football is the only one that has tactics.
That's right. It's the most accurate battle simulation we have. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. But whatever. Keep in mind that's what it is. They love to mock us. You love to see all the crying about losing the hockey. Well, you guys, after Trump started his whole, Canada, the first 51st state thing, a year ago, we had a game against America versus Canada related to the Olympics, right? And of course, the Canadian team came out and immediately started just fighting, right?
Yep.
And we
They're
won that
mad.
game too. And the Canadians were
We won the
upset.
fight too. We won't go there. We won't go there.
But I mean,
the Canadians should just be glad that our blacks don't want to play, because they don't want to give the blacks blades. We already seen what happened with the one guy. He slit that dude's throat.
Yeah,
got away with it.
he did.
They don't want us. They don't want us to get the blacks involved. We're nice and we don't let them play much. All right, we keep them off the ice for you. That's for you, not for us.
That's for you. But usually Canada does dominate us in hockey, though, and as they should.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
It's their deal.
It is. But nevertheless, I
wish what I wish would catch on genuinely, and I've wished this for years, is actual wrestling. Greco-Roman freestyle wrestling.
Yeah.
And then we could really settle some scores and see, because the American wrestling situation it's unbelievable. Like, people don't understand how huge high school wrestling is in many states. And Ohio's one of them. Iowa's one of them. It's almost as big as football. Like, it's a big deal. Big deal.
Anyway, I got to go work, dude. Take us out of here.
All right.
Gentlemen, ladies, everybody else, spring is coming. By this time, or our next show, in fact, Chester, it will be spring. Probably. Officially, all over the world. It'll be January. It'll be March 22nd, 21st, something like that. We'll be up here. It'll be spring. Spring will have sprung. I'm going to do Chester's favorite one because I'm not by my computer. The master is not the one who completes his training. The master is the one that never stops. Happy spring. And it looks like, at least where I'm at, we might actually have a good one this year. It's nice and warm already. I'm loving it. Loving it, Chester. It feels good to be alive. Every day is the best day of my life. Every single one.
Namaste. Later, everybody.
Yeah.